All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides Every Story. We're going to get started here tonight with our 11th session, technically 12th session, I think now, right? Of Xaryxis. Maybe 11th. I don't know, whatever. But we're making our way through the campaign, this sort of mini campaign, and we're going to be playing that tonight. And very close, I think, to the final showdown. I was telling the party that I think, if not tonight, I think it'll be next session. So we'll see how we go, how far we go along. And it's been a nice campaign. I think if this is either 11th or 12th session, I don't remember. It's 11th. That's what it says on the Twitch. We've made it a long way. So we'll kind of do a recap for the party, just because we missed last game 2 weeks ago. But before we do all that, a couple things I want to hit about the channel. So 20 Sides, we are a gaming channel. We play tabletop role-playing games, and we do that a lot. And if you look at our calendar, our schedule, we play 5th edition, we play old school essentials, we've got some DCC on there. I think we might have wrapped up our DCC campaign. Link bar, did that wrap?
No, we're maybe 6 more sessions or so.
What the? Oh, I'm way off. Okay. Sorry. So I think
We're going-
maybe says
We're going
Cliff die, maybe.
well, I don't. There was a lost character sheet and a very confusing backstory, and yeah, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, we play lots of things on the channel. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. But what we're doing tonight is some 5th edition. So we're playing Spelljammer. This is the official campaign, the Xaryxis. It came out, I think we actually did the first session, maybe session 0, possibly the week that it came out, and we've been playing it just kind of every 2 weeks or 4 weeks or so, depending on how often I have something happen in my schedule, basically. But we're getting close to the end. And so if you like our channel, if you like what we do, and you're interested in just kind of hanging out and talking to us, hop in the Discord. We are a pretty open community. I have been a part of a lot of Discords in my life. Put it in the chat. I was a moderator for a 20,000 person Discord for a little while, and I'm in a bunch of different ones. It's a pretty cool community, pretty low key. Definitely a good place to hang out. Also a good place if you want to get into games, where we do a community campaign where we draw people from our Discord and they play on the stream. So if you ever wanted to play on a stream, or just kind of get your feet wet in that process, or just you like the people and you want to play with them, I recommend jumping into the community campaign. It's a lot of fun, and I always tell people that's where I learned how to play D&D. Basically, was a community campaign, and enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. So that said, a couple things about our schedule, and we will kind of move on. Big thing coming on for the schedule. So we got the game tonight, of course. Tomorrow and Wednesday, we have a double dose of Dragonlance. So we have a Dragonlance that's a homebrew on Tuesday at 7 Central. And then on Wednesday, we have Dragonlance, which is the Shadow of the Dragon Queen module, or adventure, I guess, the official one. And back-to-back Dragonlance this week. On Thursday, we've got a Dark Tower game that is the Goodman Games conversion for Dark Tower for 5th edition. I believe that's Casey is running that, right? The 5th edition one?
Yeah.
Cool. And then Friday we have a community campaign, and then Sunday we have that campaign I said was possibly over, which is not. That is on the calendar. Apparently, I just looked at that. We have Lankmar coming up, so that's if you're interested in DCC, or if you like Lankmar, or if you have good taste and you like both of those things, then come in and check out on Sunday. And then I'll be back on Monday with my homebrew Eberron campaign. So we got a lot of stuff going on. It's a busy time, busy channel, and we are all busy bees. So one other thing I guess I'll put out there is that we are starting to gear up for our week of giving that we do. And we have a week. It's like the second week in May. We're gonna run a bunch of we try to theme them sometimes, I guess. Actually, and this might be the first year we themed it. I don't know, but it feels like we theme them. But this year is going to be all no 5th edition. So all of us play 5th edition. All of us like 5th edition. We're doing it tonight. But we're going to be doing in our week of giving. We're going to experiment a bit with that and do some different things. So I'm actually running the new Shadow Dark thing. It's all hyped up now. I'm really into what they're doing, so I'm going to run a Shadow Dark one-shot kind of a deal. And we've got, I can never say it right, Cimborium?
I don't know exactly. The guy that I learned it from says Sambarum, so I don't know if that's right or not.
So we got some of that. We got, I don't know, we got Battletech. I saw that on there. I was like, what the heck? That looks cool. So we got a bunch of stuff. I was going to run some Lancer, but I decided to switch. Oh, Shadowrun. Yeah, I see it in the chat. Shadowrun. Hell yeah. So a lot of cool stuff. There could be some outside the box things going on. And that's coming up. And we do this. It's for, I'm excited about the games, but the real reason we do it is it's a charity organization. We draw funds in for the Center for Suicide Awareness in Wisconsin, based out of Wisconsin, which is a really great organization that we've worked with a lot on the channel. And all the funding, we just go straight to them. And so we don't, I think we use Tiltify possibly. Yeah, we're using Tiltify for this, but so there's like, they get their cut. They get their slice of the meat, but then send it all down to the charity group. And it's a lot of fun because the donations typically impact the game. Usually most of what the DMs do is, you donate a certain amount of money and some kind of good stuff happens or something bad happens. And then we let people buy things to make a donation for like $20 to give a reroll, or donate $50 to kill one of the characters. Just kidding. We'll do that in mine. But anyways, there's different kinds of things you can do to kind of give the game some flavor. So it's a lot of fun. It's a blast, especially fun to watch. So that's all. I'll talk more about that later. We get closer. Yeah, I guess that's the question. I think it's BattleTech. My impression was Planet Buster was asking BattleTech, the RPG, the wargaming. I took it to be the wargaming. Do you remember what it was? Was it the RPG? I don't know. I'll ask. Gabe's running it. So if you know Gabe, he runs a lot of the community campaign games. He's going to be running that, and I don't know yet, but hopefully something cool. Yeah, $50 to kill characters. And it's for like Shadow Dark, it's fine because it takes 5 minutes to make a new one. So I'll just be like, you could just $50. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's say we got a big game tonight, and we're going to jump into it and get the ball rolling. In the meantime, like I said, check out the Discord if you just want to be kind of looped in on stuff. We got a lot of information about the community campaign, and there's a whole section for it. And of course, we'll be talking more about our week of giving coming up. So that is all. Let's go ahead and set the stage for the game for the night. So what we've been doing this whole campaign is the party used to live on a planet called Mycopia. Well, some of the parties from this planet. Mycopia is in our sort of setting for Spelljammer, is a home world for a bunch of these plasmoids. These ooze people, basically. And 2 of the party members are from that planet. It's their home planet. The other 2 are kind of like buddies. They were like working together on a ship. I can't remember how deep the bonds were, but they had been together for a while. And the planet was threatened by this empire, the Xaryxian Empire, which is these astral elves that have this kind of huge armada that's situated in Xaryx space. And they had attacked the planet basically to drain all the life force from the planet and feed it to the Xaryxian star. And the entire purpose for that is the star sort of feeds off of life to keep it stable, to keep it kind of like a livable star. And this star then also provides magic and power to to the elves. So there's like this kind of symbiotic relationship. And so they go around occasionally basically destroying planets and sucking all the life force out of all the populace to feed their star. And so they're, very powerful empire, hated, also feared. And because of that, the party has, in the course of their adventure, figured this stuff out, but also realized that there's an opportunity to oppose them. And so they joined forces with a man named Commodore Crux. I call him Commander. Or is it Commander? Oh, I don't know. Crux is what I call him. Crux is this GIF who thought the party could help him to convince this coalition in Doom Space. He's like this group of kind of fearsome but disparate groups to band together because they're a little bit more chaotic. They're kind of outside the typical structure. They have all these ships that are in this sort of like pocket, in this dimension that's deadly and all these other things. And there's also just a lot of opportunity he felt to coordinate an effort against the Xaryxians. So the party's done that. They actually, due to valiant effort in an arena battle where they kind of impress everyone about their combat prowess and can-do attitude. They also use a lot of diplomatic skills and some planning and some careful speechifying from our speechy bard to convince all these different groups to come together. And so what the party had recently left off on is they had attacked the Citadel, where all of this, where like this sort of like the seat of power is. And the reason why is that if they get to the Princess Zadali, if they get to the princess here, she has told them that she is sympathetic to their cause, and she's given them a ring. It's a ring of shooting stars. And she has told them that if they can come find her, break her out of jail, give her the ring, she can perform a ritual with that ring at the temple. So there's a place called the Astral Font in the temple, which is basically this sort of like magical font of light that's fueled by the sun. And she believes that, or she says that she can perform this ritual that will sever the connection to the sun and essentially destroy it, which would, she is telling them, would save their planet. So there's sort of all this kind of like plan. And so what they've done is they have done a feint. They pretended like they were attacking a smaller group, and then lured the larger armada back to like their full 30 ship coalition force. And so right now what's happening is there are 30 ships on the good guy side, 30 ships on the bad guy side, and they're just shooting at each other and firing arrows and all that kind of stuff. There's a big massive battle happening. What the party did, because they're clever, is they have a vampire with them, vampire captain, who's able to make his ship invisible. And so they were able to slip past the fray so it's a kind of this combination thing they put together, and approach the planet. However, as they approached the planet, approached the Citadel, they got close enough to it that it essentially triggered a defense mechanism. They passed through basically an anti-magic field, as like a bubble field, and it stripped them of their invisibility, and they were immediately boarded by none other than Commander Vale. And Commander Vale, the important piece for the party to understand, is he is the man who led the forces that have threatened Macopia. He was like the leader of the forces, and was basically the man behind the operation. I mean, he has no it wasn't personal, but he was the guy running it. And so
it's personal. It's very personal.
It's personal. But that said, that is the current situation. So we're going to be opening with this confrontation, and I don't need to say too much to say this is obvious. You're not going to negotiate with these guys. I think they may have opened with surrender or something, but we'll pick up from there. And I'm going to assume that we're going to need some initiative. So that said, I'm going to go ahead and set up a combat. Oh, I had one already. I guess I didn't roll it. It looks like I've already added everybody. Does that track with how y'all are seeing Foundry right now?
Yep, I think we just got to roll now.
Okay. So they pulled out their swords and they're just surrender. There's no there's no negotiating. Do you surrender?
We do not surrender.
No.
All right, we'll roll some initiative.
Oh, wait a minute. Now that I see that many dice, let me reconsider.
There's actually... I messed something up here, but that's okay.
Well, some of these creatures are on our side, right?
That is true. The very powerful Aarakocra are on your side.
But they got that weapon pointed right at the group. Look at that. They're
Let her fly.
going to fire that. Yeah.
You got Snapper too, so everything is good.
MVP Snapper.
They're all going to die.
Oh, poor Snapper. It's okay. Snapper's a little hardier than the Aarakocra.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, don't look up the Aarakocra stats.
on, you fools.
They'll be okay. There's got to be some collateral damage. So up first is Grimzod, and Grimzod is going to. He's like holding the ship, kind of keeping it from being invisible, and like this all happens like in a flash. He's kind of like disoriented, but he is going to open with his crossbow. He's going to fire a crossbow bolt at one of these dudes, and just he releases his attack. And he hits. He just barely hits. So the arrow just barely catches the one guy on the left, the far left, and has this bit of spectral energy to it as it pierces into his armor. And at that point, the battle is on. And so he's going to go ahead and like run down here, sort of like to kind of flank the Aarakocra and keep them protected a little. And then
he's already done more damage than he did in the arena, so
that's
good
true.
job.
Like, I figured out how to tune this thing. All right, you're up.
All right.
Placebo.
5, 10, 15. Oh, it does the number for me. I'm walking around, but it made me go in a straight line. But I will go there, and I'm going to try to hit this person.
Yeah, and this happens in a flash. This you see what before you is like basically a slender elf with like a he's actually holding a morning star, but he's like wearing priestly robes. And yeah, you can hit him. I'm just describing
I think I want to. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Going to
Give you some
do it.
description. The interpret is like pause. That is going to hit. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's not good.
Priest should do some armor, but he doesn't. So I will bludgeon him with my quarterstaff.
You catch him completely off guard.
All right. Well, I want to try to bludgeon him again with my extra attack.
Okay.
So I imagine that will hit. If the
Yes.
14 hit, so 8 more bludgeoning. And then with my bonus action, I think I will do a flurry of blows and try to pseudopod smack him. Smack, smack. So there's one pseudopod smack.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is not very good. I will see if
It
I can
hit,
smack
though.
him harder. We want to smack him harder, though. Well, a little harder.
It's technically harder.
That is technically harder.
This little blur of stick and blob and like arms just like protruding out of weird places just like beats the shit out of this guy. But he's still up. He's pretty hardy. He takes the hits and then wipes a bit of blood off of his face, and you can see like his eyes kind of like glowing a little with magical energy.
I was hoping to turn you into a blob.
And right as you do that, say that right behind you, this warrior that you slipped around, he's finally kind of like, he caught on a little faster than the others, and he's just gonna strike at you twice with his longsword. So attack number 1, attack number 2, 14 and 9. 9.
Miss.
How is it only got a +1? Something's wrong. I'm just gonna accept it. All right, so he swings helplessly at you, and then the Aarakocra is up. And so this Aarakocra is up here. This is representing the captain. Well, no. I'm going to say the captain is downstairs, like rallying troops, because this guy only has, he hasn't got much going on. So he's not the captain. But regardless, though, this Aarakocra, he's like a pirate. He's got a little bandana, and he's got his little, like, javelin, I guess. And he's going to take it, and he's going to chuck the javelin at the same guy that was shot with the crossbow.
Go, Polly.
He hurls it, and it sails wide, like straight out of the air, actually. And then he's gonna like squawk and be like, "Wah!" and like fly up over here to like engage this guy. And then oh my god! And then right then and there.
Polly, bad choice.
The one
Bad perch.
the one that he threw the spear at, he had like it would like flew super wide, no chance. But then this guy, he flies up to him, and he is just gonna chomp on him with his sword. And no, okay. He does 5 damage. And then he misses. He crit misses. So there's a little bit of a flurry. And so while this is going on, I forgot that we're going to do a roll. So there's a mechanic that I want to introduce, that you guys are out here like sailing, towards the Citadel. And there's this battle happening in the background. And so we're going to roll on a table. And I don't know if I can give you access to this. I want to see if I can. Can I give you access? I guess I can't. Okay, that's fine. Or can I? I can't. I don't know. I'm not sure how. But I'm going to roll 2 times on this dice. It'd be more fun if it was y'all doing it, but that's okay. Here's the first roll. And this is going to be representing a ship that gets destroyed in the battle. So one of the star moths gets exploded. And, you don't necessarily hear anything, but you see, like, a moth break apart all over on the horizon. And then Hadozi's ship goes down. And I realize my table is not going to function the way I want it to function. I thought it was removing... it's removing entities... but it's removing the entire option, so no more star moths. So,
oh no, we want more star moths.
Yeah. So if Crux dies, I'll remove him, but otherwise we'll just kind of have to just deal. So star moth goes down, Hadozi's ship goes down, and so every round we're gonna roll. And the big threat that the party understands is one of their friends or whatever, Crux. He's on a ship, comedy, and it's the ship too with Starbow and Captain Mr. Flinch.
We don't want that one to go down.
Everyone's on there. But Ichabod, you're up.
Why is the vampire on our ship?
That's right.
He could make it invisible. That's why. He was useful.
He can just jump off the side and be okay.
I am going to use unsettling words on Vale. So he will subtract 1d8 from his next save.
Ooh.
And I am going to upcast Bane. I'm going to do 3rd level Bane to hit 5 creatures within 30 feet of me. So I'm going to go for these 5, the top 5. Have to do a charisma saving throw, and
Cool.
Vale has to subtract, what did I say, 1d8?
Got it. So this guy at the top, I'm just going to roll him kind of from top to bottom. He's going to do a charisma saving throw. What's the DC? 14? Failed.
Yep.
And then fail. Ooh. Fail. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get all of them. So he has to do a d8 subtraction. So we'll see how this goes. Charisma saving throw. We'll just do the roll and see when you do the d8 minus. It doesn't seem like that won't matter because he rolled well enough. Good for him. And then this last one. Boop, 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 boop. I should have probably not gotten all in like a circle, or in a line. So for Bane, I'm just gonna do like the down arrow for these guys. So we just remember that they're Bane. And is it the Bane's a minus a d4?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
And I'm gonna use another 15 feet to start taking the high ground and getting out of danger.
So the Astral Priest is gonna open up, and it is going to first take a swing at you with the Morning Star. Placebo.
Okay.
And the stars, and this Morning Star is like got this like electric energy behind it, or this radiant energy, and it just whiffs over your head because these guys all have really bad stats. What's going on? I think Foundry must have broke. There's no way. +3 to hit. This is a CR5 creature. Come on. All right. Anyways,
you are not very good with your weapon.
So he realizes that, and he's gonna switch over to doing something different. He is going to cast Rain of Radiance, and so I need a dexterity saving throw from you, Placebo.
All right.
As a beam of energy drops from the ceiling onto you. Do you have a evasion or anything? I know rogues get it, but I don't.
I know. I have to look and see what I have. Yeah, I have an evasion, so I'll take half.
Okay, so 21, so take 10.
All right.
That radiant damage. And then he will. That's an action. He can't do that. He'll do nothing. He'll stand there like a fool. All right, so then that brings us to the Aarakocra. So this Aarakocra is going to kind of like crank the thing to prepare it for firing. And then Snapper is going to roll up to protect you, Placebo.
Oh.
He might actually do better than these guys. I'm actually a little sad. I must have messed the math up or something. Anyways, he's going to roll up and he's going to drop a branch on the guy twice. So he's just like whipping him with his little branch arms. And they will both hit.
Yeah.
And so he will take, 22 damage. Come on, Snapper.
Bring it.
All right. Astral Elf Honor Guard. So then this guy kind of in the front, he's like the toughest dude. The biggest like looking guy with all this crazy armor. He is going to ignore the Aarakocra because who cares? And he's going to step up to you, Placebo, and he's going to like hop this banister and slip behind you. So you don't have the chance to kind of like get away. And he's going to open. He is going to strike you twice with a longsword.
Well, that will hit.
Bane can't.
Oh, almost did it twice.
Yeah, that was scary.
Okay, here comes the crit.
All right.
So you'll take 13 damage. Not too bad. And that part of that damage is like, again, his sword is like glowing with this radiant energy. The second one, I'm assuming, misses.
Yes, the second one misses.
And Commander Vale, he's going to back up here, and he's going to pull out his longbow, and he's going to point it at this Aarakocra up here, snipe him off. And 14. Oh, come on, Aarakocra. Oh no. So he gets an arrow.
Oh no.
That's right. Yeah, he gets an arrow to the that like fires through, catches him, and again, there's this streak of like radiant energy, that sickening radiance that you see from the sun, powering the arrow, and it hits him and like explodes out his back, and he flies off and starts to float sideways in space.
Aww.
He is dead. And then Zeph.
And just an FYI, we were just redeemed a player reroll from Jeff, so thank you, Jeff, for that. Zeph is pulling out this fancy new bow that he has, and he's polishing it up. And as he's doing that, you can just see like a little feathered arrow is slowly being lifted up off of his back somehow by dozens of little the swarm, his little younglings are providing an assist, and he says, "All right, it's time to bow," and he's gonna put this one right here in his crosshairs. He's gonna first bonus action cast Hunter's Mark. Okay, so there's the Hunter's Mark damage if I happen to hit. So I'll take a shot. I'm gonna use that reroll right away.
Yeah. Come on.
I can't start the combat off like.
Not with that kind of lead up to the.
Jeez, 15 to
That'll
hit.
hit.
Okay.
That'll hit.
So here is, I'm gonna have I'm gonna use my swarm to add a little extra on there as well.
So
all in all,
of
14 points.
14 points. Yeah. Arrow cuts right through this dude. He is still up.
All right,
But he's
second
looking a little
attack.
haggard.
First one didn't quite do it. Let's see. That was a 13 luck.
Hits right on the
Really?
money. Yeah. he's a priest. I don't know why he's wearing a chain shirt, but it's not good enough.
So 13. Do you want me to re-roll the hunter's mark or just use that same 3?
Reroll it. More fun that way.
Oh, 14 points.
All right, cool. That's -1. So yeah, he staggers a bit, but this last arrow is phased him, but he is not down.
And I guess just if I can, I think I would have done this like before getting into this battle, but just my little cooking thing, can I dole out like who gets those? So I'd say I'm gonna keep one for myself, and then give one to Placebo and Koraz. I figure Ichabod's got some healing tricks, so just so everybody's got some kind of an emergency little dried anchovy treat for yourself just in case you get a little peckish.
Oh, I very much like those anchovy treats. They are my favorite.
You can't take them when you're gone, so might as well use up those fancy fish. All right, so then these warriors here, they're gonna start to like swarm in, and so they're gonna come after. These guys are gonna come after Snapper with a couple attacks, but Snapper's armor is going to reflect the first one, but not the second one. It's okay. Snapper's still alive. Snapper's hardier than those Aarakocra. And then Koraz.
Okay, so let's see. I think Raz is gonna this where I want something like that.
Oh no.
Is that missing Placebo and getting the bottom 2 guys, or do I need to adjust that? Is it something like that? Is
How you had it before was gonna hit all 5 of those dudes.
Okay, so that.
I also forgot to roll for the Bane.
And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drop the Shatter at 3rd level. Just gonna click cast. It might roll a bunch of stuff. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. How much damage? 20?
Let's see. The damage is 20, and the save is DC 14.
Okay. Do you take Bane off of a save as well?
Yep, you sure
nice.
do.
Bane is
Because
really
I was eyeing up my shatter spell too, so I'm like, yeah, definitely. Now's the time to use it.
All right. So the first one fails. Second one is gonna pass. Yeah, Bane. You don't see Bane used. Well, I don't see Bane used very much. I feel like that's a good spell for like mixing with casters.
It's a good support spell.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. So the guy with whose Bane is actually the one who's passed it so far. He's failed. Priest. Oh man. Why did I cluster them? That was their fault. Their hubris. 17, he'll pass. The priest will pass.
Good old British combat tactics.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all are going gorilla on them.
We're more intimidating if we're all together.
So that 20 damage will
be a 10 for the ones that pass the save.
Right.
Did
Guy
the
at the
last
top is
dude?
still up.
Did the last dude have Bane on him too? Were you going like top down?
I was going top down, and I didn't roll because he rolled like a 6 or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I just saw the Astral Elf Warrior 17, and I didn't know which order you were going.
Right. Gotcha. So it's the one at the very bottom and the priest.
Okay.
I think I lost track what I was doing, but I don't care. They're just gonna get all blasted up. I heard this guy already? No. He saved. And then this guy failed here. So yeah, that was a meaningful blow. However, Shatter, if I remember correctly, also destroys the surroundings, right?
So they fall. I'll take fall damage.
Yeah, it blows a hole through the ship. No, we'll say that
it says unmatched. I don't know.
maybe it's just
It
objects.
says
carrying.
non-magical objects. I
That
thought
isn't being worn or carried also take damage if it's in the spell's area.
So I'm gonna say is the ballista gets a bit battered, not destroyed because it's hefty and like the 20 points wouldn't be enough to blow it up totally, but it just like splinters some of the wood around it and everything, and it's like this kind of like big like this like dentation in the ship's deck where this blast goes off, and you hear I think her name is Riva, the captain. She's like, "What are you doing up there?"
Did I do that?
And then our Aarakocra, the first Aarakocra is cranking it. The second one is gonna aim this. He's gonna start to turn, but you see him do something you might not have expected. He aims the ballista not towards the guys. He aims it up in the air, and he's like shouting in whatever language these things speak. Orin. Some kind of like birdie language. Like he's squawking real loud.
Tweet.
Tweet. And he's like, and the other Aarakocra are like looking up at the sky. And then this elf here, the one next to you, Placebo, this dude, he's gonna come at you. So you're like, I don't know if you're noticing that at all. You're in the heat of battle, but you're getting a couple swipes at you. 16.
The second one hits. 22 hits.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do this big swing. It was like 5 points of damage.
And Winston, you have been redeemed a reroll from chat.
Oh, that's going to be useful in a minute.
DOE Legion, thank you so much for the DM reroll.
Yes. And then this other Aarakocra is going to fire. What's that?
I said not really, but thanks.
I'm thanking you, DOE Legion. I appreciate you. I see you out there. So this Aarakocra is going to release the ballista bolt, and it's a little bit frayed. Like the wood is at the tip has kind of been like loosened a bit, but it fires off into the sky. And if you're paying attention, you will see that as it's firing, it is firing at a creature that is suddenly approaching in.
Don't be an astral dragon. Don't be an astral dragon.
Don't worry, it's a solar dragon.
Oh.
A solar dragon.
Don't be that either.
And you see that if you look, there's actually 5 solar dragons that have been apparently entering into like the fray. 4 of them have gone off to fight the like where the main battle is, but this one has been drawn to you, and it is it's going to enter into the combat. Look at that. Roll the 1.
That's not when we want it to roll a 1 though, It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a turn now.
And then we'll get to the
roll like a 7 or something, a 6, Then
were they able to hit him with? Did they fire?
Oh, I guess I should give them the chance, right? So we're rolling
yes, please.
D20.
Yes.
We'll say a +5.
No, they just. Oh, come on, you guys!
Use your DM reroll.
And we just got a player reroll from Percy.
Oh,
man.
Thanks, Percy.
Did we use that? Those ballistas are pretty heavy.
what's the ballista damage on this guy? It's like 3d8, I think, or 3d10. Can't remember what it is, but he misses. It flies off, and maybe like the bolt kind of splinters a bit as it's shooting off. It's not quite air ready, and then it is this astral elf's turn. He watches as the bolt flies off. He turns around and he pulls out his bow and he shoots at the dragon. And Commander Vale's like, "No, you idiot! Attack them!" And he misses. And then the dragon is approaching, and when it slinks over the edge of the ship, and it's and I actually have this. I'll show you that my party bought me this beautiful dragon. I want you to see this. This is a present from my Spelljammer group. This is because I have the best players. How nice they are. There's no person on it, so ignore that part. But this is what is approaching your ship currently. It's not. It's all blurry. Come on. There we go.
Yeah.
And the wings are like this, like sort of like almost like vapor. It almost looks like a serpent, just sort of like flying through the sky. And it comes in, and it sees this cluster of mortals, and it just opens its jaw, and it is going to breathe photonic breath. And it's just going to nuke everybody.
Oof.
So yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because there's a saving throw involved here. I did a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. Let's go from the players first, and I'll do the good guys along with the players.
Ichabod, I'm really glad we're standing back here on these steps here right now.
Yeah, and I'm glad there's 4 of them are baned, so hopefully they'll all fail.
I don't even know why I'm rolling for the Aarakocra.
Oh, good. I rolled 22.
Oh no, Snapper. I didn't realize Snapper was in there. So you rolled a 22, okay?
Yes.
Snapper.
Oh, snapper.
Hey, Ichabod, what's boiling point on a plasmoid?
Is this
I
getting
pray we
very
don't
hot?
find out. Got a
All
healing
right,
word
so here's
ready.
the damage. We'll do all the good guys taking this damage first. It's 38 damage. So, and you're curious with the boiling point of plasmoids, but you've now learned the boiling point of Aarakocra, as they just evaporate under this photonic like light energy.
Oh, yeah, I've had chicken
Feathers.
dinner before. I know that one.
Yeah, and as well, there goes Snapper.
Mm.
And let me
Don't
just
eat
double
him.
check something about Grimzod.
Don't eat him, Koraz.
Oh, no. Oh no, Grimzod. Why do you have to be a vampire?
Yeah.
Is he done? Yeah, is it like
He's
he
not done.
sparkles no
It'd be
more?
like double damage.
Yeah, it's double damage.
Oh,
Did he save or
Grimzod
no?
just gets like, you just see him like almost turn into a skeleton. Like this light just like
Some
flares,
other
breaks
group,
off his body.
some other group on another ship just rolled on that D60 table, and they got us.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, this is an awesome mini. I just saw that. Dirty Dwarf was really cool. And
I
my
think
son
we
has been
should have
desperate to
bought
play
him.
with it.
I
Yeah.
think we should have bought him like Teddy as a
We should-
mini, because
yeah.
then maybe Teddy would have come.
We should have given him a
helped us out.
flump. Get him a flump. Captain Flapjack.
Told you that we should have gotten the princess.
Can I redeem a reroll on our gift?
Listen, this, believe it or not, is scripted into the campaigns. Like if they get in a fight, a solar dragon shows up. So you didn't deem yourself. This is what they recommended. It was just too perfect. When I saw the box, I was like, oh, they're gonna appreciate this.
I mean, the silver lining is that he's taking out enemies, hopefully, here as well. But
I
That's
maybe
true.
shouldn't have rushed in and tried to punch everybody. Maybe I should have stayed by you guys.
That's right. All right. So unfortunately, they go through all the bad guys, but we'll see. This one fails. This one, I'm just gonna roll them and we'll decide if we want to do the D4 if we need it. Unnecessary. And this is bad for them. They're not happy about that. I think he's going to. What was the DC? Okay, he might actually fail. He failed.
he wasn't baned. The priest wasn't.
Oh, whoops. Okay, priest succeeds. Yeah. Look at that honesty. Isn't that amazing?
That gives us a reroll, right?
Right, you get one reroll every time you correct the GM against your favor. It's actually not a terrible mechanic. Man, they're all rolling bad. Okay, he's gonna fail because of the Bane. And then this guy. Oh my gosh. He's going to roll and fail. Oh, no, actually, he's baned. Oh no. Come on. He fails. All right. Actually, I think he had to fail anyways. It was a 17 DC. So I think everyone but the priest failed. So you're going to see... what's that?
I said that priest.
I know, right? He's hardy. He's about to get the hell out of here, too. You see this dude evaporates. The one at the top, I just put the death symbol on. And again, the damage is just is immense. This photonic energy. And basically anyone who had been hurt, except for the priest, oops, hold on, are dead. Wow. And Snapper. And the Aarakocra. And the priest. Oh, I know. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay.
Oh, are you kidding me? He's just gotten beat up so much, and he said, "Oh no, I'm still here."
Yeah, he's still there. He's hanging on, but he is scorched. He looks like he's been in some kind of like flash fire. Like his whole back of his body, where he was shielding himself, is just the skin, the cloth is gone, the skin is gone. He is just scorched, and this dragon is just dropped this beam of energy. And now,
is he just hanging out, or is he off to? Oh man, okay.
He's raked the top of your ship with this photonic breath, and you get the impression he's a dragon. He wants to know what you got inside. He's about to eat you.
This guy lived though.
Yes, I think.
And the Royal Guard, Honor Guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't in on. I think he was spared, right?
No, he was hit. He did a lot.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just had some health on him.
Gotcha.
So, that said, I'm gonna go ahead and clear off the dead bodies just to make this easier. See what the heck is going on. Bye, Snapper. And Snapper, and you see Snapper's he barely was killed actually. He only had 20 hit points or something. But he you see his little corpse and his little his little plant it's almost sort of ironic. Actually, you know what?
Don't we have some
Yeah,
rounds
he's healed.
Rev him because he's a named character?
Is he really?
A named
Snapper's a name.
We named him. That's why we name everything. Teddy.
They work with Teddy.
But not when he's melon's so tasty right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's smelling real good. Where is Snapper? I can't find him anymore.
I mean, you
I'm
can eat
flambe.
It. Gone.
He's a friendly
Come on.
NPC. Where is he? I think I put him in our factions for some reason. Let me pull up my stuff. I have so many NPCs because I was trying to account for there's Snapper. They are not resistant to radiant damage. I was checking to see because I would have saved him. But he's all smoked, and there's a little bit of irony in that he's a plant creature killed by the sun.
Oh.
Maybe we don't have time to think about that because it's a giant dragon. And that brings us to the top of the round. So we're going to roll again on our table, our disaster table. And we're going to see if there's any other tiers. I'm really bummed I didn't set this the right way, but that's okay. Boop, 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 boop. Another Hadozi ship goes down.
No.
Hadozi.
I was gonna hang out with them later.
Yeah, and I'm going to drop them down. They're now down to one ship.
Yeah, were you the Emerald Arrow? Was that your?
La vie.
Another Star Moth goes down. So it's a pretty even fight. You get the impression, as all these ships are cracking up and blowing up, and that there's an even fight. You've lost one or two ships out of each of the coalition. They're holding. You're gonna have enough time, you think, to make this work. If you can just get rid of this current situation you're in. And then we're up to Grimzod. Grimzod is like a skeleton. He's been scorched. And you can see his flesh is completely ripped off his face. He's this blackened, actually, yeah, kind of like a blackened skull shining through. And he's as bad as he's maybe ever been since he's become a vampire. This is a bad hit. And so he is going to kind of stumble to the edge of the ship. And he will take a shot with his crossbow. No, he won't. He's just going to fall off the edge of the ship. So he just falls off the edge of the ship, trying to get away from this dragon.
Yeah,
Placebo.
that's pretty much his worst
All right.
nightmare.
Well, I guess I will continue to try to hit the priest. with my stick.
Yeah.
That did not get burned by the sun.
Yeah. That's right. You shielded it with your Uzi body.
Yes, my Uzi body protected it. So.
Okay. There's no
Oh.
possible way for him to not die.
Okay.
So he was hanging on. Again, his body's like half like 3rd-degree burn, like blackened skin. And so you just just crack his neck. He drops to the ground, and you've finished off this guy.
I like to imagine that Placebo's mask has melted, so it now looks like the Scream mask.
No.
Oh, depends. Is it
Oh my
plastic or
gosh.
porcelain? Because I feel like that makes an important distinction. It's plastic.
I always thought of it as like porcelain, like
Sure.
one of the doll kind of masks.
Yeah, you're okay.
All right.
It's like a nice illustrious, like it's been baking. All right, Ichabod.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh,
I want to
proceed.
use my extra attack and turn around and hit the other guy by me.
Okay, that is.
Sorry,
No,
I was
no,
engaging in
problem.
too much conversation. Oh, that will miss him for sure.
Yeah,
he looks
blocks
like
it
he's
away.
wearing armor.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to just circle a little bit, and I will take patient defense as a bonus action,
Okay,
and I will dodge.
got it. Now Ichabod.
Are you like ducking down by the stairs, like you can't see me?
Yeah.
How roasted does my sister look? Like,
How roasted do you feel?
I feel more than halfway roasted. Medium rare. I don't know.
okay, I'm I'm going to try to, since we want some action economy here, we need some more players on the field. I'm going to try to bring Snapper back with a healing word.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Just level 1, just get him back on his stubby little
All right,
feet.
Snapper's gonna be back to life. I will allow this because he isn't a named character. And he'll take 5 hit points of healing. You see his little like scorched body like kind of jitter a little bit. I need
Actually,
something little. That makes it sad.
Actually, did it at 2nd level, but that's fine. It can be 2nd level.
Okay. No worries. How much health was it? 9? Why
Yeah,
did my
looks like-
brain interpret it as 5? That's weird. Okay. That's not gonna make much of a difference, but it's okay. All right, cool. Astro Elf, the honor guard. So Captain Vale is going to, as this dragon kind of flies by, he is going to kind of shout some orders in Sylvan. I'm sorry, not Sylvan, Elvish. Actually, Celestial. Does anyone speak Celestial? Okay.
I don't think
I
so.
do.
You do. You're going to hear him shout out, get back to the ship. Everyone on me. And so this guy's going to come running around, Placebo. He's going to kind of like skirt around you with the sword sort of pointed at you to like keep you from, whacking him in the behind. And then I guess, yeah, he'll just attack you because he can, right? So he's going to try to like get you from above.
All right.
I know you're dodging, so that should be disadvantage. That's the first attack is in 17.
It will hit.
And then the second one is going to be a 10.
That would will miss.
Cool.
He's still Bane though? Did you subtract
good
from his
call.
17?
Well, then that will not hit because 17's my armor class.
Nice. That's a good move.
Woo.
I love it. Okay.
Bane it up.
Yeah.
Bane it up, baby. So he misses and he feels like this curse driving him out. And then Commander Vale is going to... Let me look at this thing he can do. What's he gonna do? What's the range? See within range. Just double checking something. Range of 10 feet. He's gonna like move forward, and then he's gonna feel the dragon kind of like barreling over his shoulder. He's gonna look out to this guy who's off to the side. Oh no way! I think he can make this work. He's gonna run into that. He's gonna run down there. He's still with the dragon, and he's just gonna start to channel a spell. And
I wish I could counterspell.
Well, I'm trying to think.
I wish I
here.
could too. I can counter charm.
Let me double check the spell. Yeah. He's going to do this. So he's going to cast teleport. Anyone countering?
I can't.
Okay.
Counterpoint.
He's out of here. What a lame situation. So he's going to disappear with his 3 friends. And then Zeph, you see the dragon is moving in to like start to like pick at the bodies and stuff.
Ah, hamburgers. I'll bonus action throw my hunter's mark on this wagon.
Okay.
And fire away.
You can hear the little babies in the background as they fly.
Come on, make yourself famous. All right.
That'll hit.
Beat this much. Oh, come on. Then I'll use
Hold
the
on.
little extra on there too. So it'll be
Gotcha.
15 total.
Nice.
Second
Yeah.
attack.
Your arrow finds a scale, just like the dude from Lord of the Rings. I can't think of his name. That also will, that'll miss.
I'll use anybody care if I'm using this reroll?
No, let's kill
Use
this
the
guy.
reroll.
Can't take him with you.
Can't take that one with me either.
That hits.
Oh, really?
Oh,
All right.
You just
Yeah.
need that little bit more.
He's big. He's a big dude.
Big boy.
That plus this for Hunter's Mark. So another 15.
Oh, wow. That's a big round. 30 points. Okay.
Run away!
Back here.
Friendly reminder, DM, can you roll Snapper into the initiative?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
He's gonna save our butts here.
All right. I'm gonna say since Snapper went after Ichabod that he gets a turn because he would have had a turn. So he's gonna stand up, and what's his total movement? Oh, 20 feet. That's not good. I think I might have used him too. I might have moved too far. He's just gonna roll up next to this body, and that's it. And that's the end of his turn. He'll take the dodge action,
Yay!
and then Koraz.
All right, I think Koraz is going to try to spread out a little bit. Just here. Gonna blast him with the firebolt. See if it hits the dragon.
Yeah. It's a ballsy move, shooting a dragon with a firebolt. Oh, it almost crit. That will hit. Nine total?
Yep.
And the fire works. You see that it actually burns him and recoils a bit, even though he's clearly coming out of the sun. Like there's an element of like solar radiant energy, maybe, is his thing, and not so much fire. But that brings us to the dragon, and the dragon is going to. How do you regenerate an ability in Foundry?
Oh, you don't. Once it's used, it's gone forever.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. That's not good. So,
That's not
I
good.
mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, that's what he would do, right?
Yeah, that's why I was like, you shouldn't roll up here, Snapper. Roll away, roll away.
So it's going to breathe the fire in the exact same place that it did earlier. Snapper, I'm not going to roll for you. Well, I'll roll the damage. So give me the... if he takes double his health, he's dead. Like, for dead for real. We're going to give him those features. So he's going to make a Constitution saving throw. That's not good.
Nope.
But he's dodging.
If only it worked that way.
Yeah, so am I. It doesn't do any good. And it's not a dex save, which would be helpful, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. It isn't a dex save. That's interesting. Oh my god, that's really
Why is it so much more?
it's just really
Wow.
bad. Just rolled really high.
Yeah, I'm out.
What?
Like it was 38 last time. Now
Yeah.
it's 61.
It just a 38 was probably right about average or close to average. 61 is very
Holy
high.
cow. Yeah.
And you see Snapper just like Avengers Endgame, like just dust just to the wind. And then you are
Yeah, I'm
out,
down.
Placebo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the creature's gonna go flying in, and it's gonna start to like try to pull at the boards where there was a little bit of damage from the shatter. It's like trying to get inside the ship, like crack the ship open. And then we roll the roll of doom. Wow, that was a really unfortunate roll for the party.
Uh-huh. All right, where do I even find that?
All right, a Cicerone ship goes down.
Ooh.
A Thrycreen ship goes down, and the battle turns. Yeah, one of your ships, and so there's a bit of a win for the Star Moths. And the way this works, the more they kill, the higher probability they kill. Right? Wait, that's the other way around. Doesn't make any sense. Opposite. Okay, Grimzod is going to. What the hell is Grimzod gonna do? I will say that you don't want him to die around you. He's a vampire. If you know anything about vampires.
This kind of feels like that moment in Return of the Jedi when like all of our ships are getting shot down. So we could use some like Admiral Akbar type character to like just throw out desperation lines.
For sure. Unfortunately, you're far off behind. So I think what's gonna happen to Grimzod is he's going to just like duck out of view because he's very much in danger. Placebo. I need a death saving throw. Don't roll a natural 1.
Well, I'll roll 5.
That's one fail.
That's what I got.
Ichabod.
We're gonna do a 4th level healing word on Placebo.
Cool.
Yeah, too bad our orders weren't reversed because.
Oh, look at all those ones. 3 1s and a 3.
Well,
still a 9 hit points though.
It's more than I had
at
before.
a 4th level though.
I know. That's what you did at 2nd level for Snapper.
Yep.
The dice are not helping us out right now.
No, they're not. All right, and at this point, you're well, we'll get to the end of the round. Zeph, you're up.
I'm too scared for puns. Let's take a shot at this thing. All right, 26.
Oh yeah, that hits with ease.
This and some 100 mark and the kids. It'll bring it to 16.
Now there's all these little like Thrycreen babies just crawling all over this thing. 3 arrows sticking out of its hide.
Death by 1,000 cuts. 18 to hit.
That hits. Yeah, and this is a big dragon. It's not moving real fast. It's hanging around, and it's 13 total.
Another 13.
And it this last arrow you hit, it roars in anger and it leers its head at you.
Because just point of order, because healing word is a bonus action, I'm using my action to dodge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. You're right. Totally blanked out. Cool. Do you want to move at all or anything?
I did. I moved 5 feet. Just again, trying to space myself out equally from everybody else.
Like with the you got a map out and a protractor. All right, Koraz.
Okay, so I think what Koraz is gonna do is he's gonna cast Dissonant Spurs at him. Sure. So... Oh, and it cast it. Saving.
Okay. So saving throws DC 14 Wisdom. All right.
Oh.
And almost passed, but fails. So what happens?
Okay, so let me pull up. So they, on a failed save, they take the damage, and they must immediately use their reaction, if available, to move as far as their speed will allow away from me.
Interesting. Okay, it can move 60.
Shoo. Go.
Yeah, so it just like flies off. Anything else?
That's it.
And then it's its turn, and we're gonna have a fateful moment.
Have we been moving forward like this whole time?
Yeah.
Because you said we were 3 rounds away from the edge of the asteroid before the
Yeah.
battle started. So we are probably now at
You're like
edge
at
of
the edge.
common docks.
Yeah, you're at the edge of the common docks, and the ship is kind of like, it's taking some damage because, from all these different things happening, and it's, but it's holding steady because the Spelljammer's inside, right? So you're fine. And you are, at this point, at the end of this round, going to be crossing over the common docks fairly conspicuously. But at this point, like, there's a dragon, people are screaming, they don't know what's going on, there's an attack, there's army stuff going down, people are very confused. The dragon did not re-roll its photonic breath. And it is going to... It's going to make a morale check. Morale checks, that wisdom or charisma?
I
Is
don't
that even a
know.
thing in D&D?
I would say it's wisdom.
Okay. We're going to do a wisdom check, and if it rolls a, we'll say 15 or lower. So it rolled a 12, and so it's going to recognize that, like, it just lost its breath and, like, it kind of, like, sputs out a bit of, like, photonic energy, and it's got all these arrows and this damage in it. It's going to turn tail and run. It's going to fly 120 feet away. You're not worth the effort. As you cross over the common docks. So I'll say we are out of combat. Unless you want to take some pot shots at it, which I think is totally viable.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
piss it off.
Placebo, it is 120 feet ish away from you. Any pot shots I want to get from the party?
I don't.
120 feet, I can get a firebolt off at it.
So
I could throw
we'll-
I could throw the grenade at it.
Oh, no. You throw a grenade, it blows up 30 feet in the air.
I could throw it up to 120 feet.
Are you kidding?
But, no, that's what it says.
That is
but I
an
don't-
amazing grenade.
I don't think I want to do that. You never know when you need a grenade, so gonna
You should have
hold
totally
on to that.
stuffed it in its mouth.
Oh,
Um,
good.
All right, so
I didn't
then,
have a chance. I didn't have a chance to get close to it.
yeah.
Like,
Well, it
you
almost
know?
came back to get close to you, but I don't think you would have liked that.
Nope, probably not.
So Zeph, you want to? You're not going to kill it, but maybe. I don't know. You got 100 mark on it. Give it a shot. You can
Come
take a
on,
round
Zeph.
of arrows at him.
All right, so you said it's 120 feet away?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably a little more like 150 from you.
Okay, 150, I'm still good. So here's a couple shots. 19.
That hits.
This. Plus this. There'll be another 15. Second attack. That one will miss.
That'll miss, yeah. So 15. All right, and then Koraz, you got like spell sniper and all that, right?
Yep, I sure do. So let's see if it's 18.
18 hits.
Oh, geez, not too much. Not too much.
Dude.
Not too much.
So it's still, I mean, you know, it's okay. It's gonna make it out, I think, at this rate. If you would have like got it another like 40 points, I might have given you one more chance to finish it off. But I think at this point, it's gonna make it.
Just
So
want to let
Dragon
it know
looks-
who was boss.
And that'll bring us to the Imperial Citadel. And I'm going to go ahead and force us to this map here. And I'm going to use, since Koraz is our Spelljammer. Actually, I should have realized that. Are you the Spelljammer in the ship?
I think
He's
we
not
decided
currently.
that. I think we had decided that somebody else was piloting this ship.
Yeah, what's her name? Not Rita, but something like that. Was going to.
Rika.
Wanted to be the one on this ship with us, so she is
That's
our
right. That's right. And so Rika will kind of come up on deck after getting everyone sort of organized, and she'll come on deck and say, "Well, what's the plan? What are we doing?"
We need to continue with the plan, even if you're not able to pick us up again. We got to get off, and you need to get to safety.
Okay. So what we're gonna say is that you are gonna be flying over. I'm gonna use Ichabod. You're like right here, down here in the bottom corner. What's happening? Come on. I can't move you. Oh, never mind.
Can I be a
So
kaiju
Ichabod.
now? At scale, just like
Jeez.
rampaging.
You're like enlarged twice. So yes, you're crossing over this area, which is basically the common docks. And there's a bit of like activity because some of the ships that were like maybe merchants and that kind of thing are sort of moving around. There was the dragon. Nobody really knows exactly what you're doing because it's like just been chaos that's been happening. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not being like shot out of the air right now. But you are careening over this city into like the dock area, and you see like people trying to wave you down and like they're like signaling to you. So my question for you is, now that you've reached this asteroid, this sort of moth-shaped asteroid, where do you want to go from here? Because the original plan, I think, was to drop off in this garden area, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. Can't actually totally remember, but
Yeah, I think we definitely wanted to get as close as we could to there. So now it's
Okay.
going to be a bit of a hike.
well, it's up to you. You don't have to jump off here.
Yeah,
Well, I
maybe
think the thing
we.
is if we jump off here, we may be able to quietly make it to the Citadel. Whereas if we take the ship to the Citadel, they're definitely gonna know we're here.
Yeah.
Like if they're waving us in, I want to assume they don't know that we're the enemy right now.
How
Right.
stealthy do we feel as a party right now?
Well, I've got pass without trace if we need it, so
Yeah.
we should be able to auto that shouldn't be a problem getting there.
I think maybe we'd be better off, especially if we can catch our breath a little bit. Some of us are probably still pretty crispy on the outside.
Yeah,
I mean, I took damage that battle. I don't know about the rest of you, but
No, we didn't.
I know.
Hey,
We're all good.
I'm a melee fighter. There was nothing else I could do.
Yeah. You're like a toasted marshmallow right now.
All gooey on the center. Yeah.
I had to be tempted by the smell of our friend Snapper.
Oh. I am very sorry for your pain. That must have been excruciating.
Poor
Now
Snapper.
that you put it that way, I guess,
Well, let's take a vote. I vote for stealth. We'll drop off here and try to sneak through instead of
Take
just
advantage of
bringing
the
all the
chaos.
attention. Yeah.
Me and my 200 kids vote for stealth as well, so it looks like the stealthers have it. Just
I
kidding.
always vote with you. You've trained them to be very, very respectful of you and your opinions.
I like to keep my house in order. Yes. But speaking of your down hit points, is there anything we can kind of help to deal with that? I mean, you've got the little
Well, I was
treat
gonna
thing. We'll
ask-
give you some temp, but
Yeah, I was gonna ask the DM how short can our short rest be? What do you?
Oh.
So I would
Is
say
there-
that to get a short rest, you need to get on the dock and like find some place to hang out.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if we take a short rest, I can boost people's hit dice. I could even do a motivational like speech that takes a minute. That would give us some. Even if we don't short rest, I can do that, and that'll give us some temp hit points, but they don't stack. So.
Oh, we should roll one more roll for the ships blowing up too.
Yeah, I was
I'll
gonna
just do
say
that while you're
if we've got that roll is happening every little bit, maybe we wouldn't take a short rest, right?
No.
Yeah, we probably
I
can't
think we
afford to
should
do
keep
that.
going.
Well,
Well, let me.
why don't you do the inspiring speech thing and then like keep the treat for when those get depleted?
That sounds like a good idea.
I have a healing word that I can cast once to that I can give you a little bit of healing with now too.
I mean, the amount of damage things do, it probably is better to use the healing words just to
Get people up.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah. Plus, we might just need your spell slots for onslaught.
Yeah.
I have one healing word I can cast with
Oh,
them.
just like okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So I will do. Let's see, motivational speech. Well, that's third level. What does it give us?
Ooh, 5, 10.
5-10 hit points.
That's
Okay.
nice.
All right.
So no more star moths are going down. They're all our coalition ships. Is that what I just
I'm
saw?
just reporting what the table's saying.
Is it because they're not on the table anymore?
Yeah, maybe
They're
they
on
got
the table.
taken off the table.
They're on the table. I turned off that mode. Everyone's on the table. Hadozi's been picked twice, so
Yeah.
I'll give my.
It's the way the world works in this time, you
Oh
know.
no.
I will
Just
offer
roll
my.
one more time just to see if it picks the moths. See, look at that.
Yeah.
So
When it
next
doesn't
time
come.
it'll be a star moth. In the future. I'll give my greater healing potion to Placebo as well. You can drink it now or not, but
I have one.
well, why don't you drink one and then
Yeah, I can drink one, and then that's 4d4 plus 4. So let me see. Plus 4. I probably am putting too many spaces or something into this. Let's see. Oh no, it worked. Okay, thank you. That helps.
yeah, and every little bit. I'm trying to look at what else I might be able to do, but I think yeah, the motivational speech. What else does that give us? I should look closer. I thought maybe it gave us something else too. Let me double check. You all handled yourself very well. Despite the overwhelming odds against us. We have advantage on wisdom saving throws. So for your next wisdom saving throw, you will have advantage.
I think I got sunburned. I feel more magenta than pink after
It
that
looks
battle.
good on you. It's a nice shade. It's impressive.
It was very, very hot.
So Riza will have a crew come up board and try to help you all get settled, take away all the bodies of the Imperial Guards and snappers, ashes, and the Arakakras, and just sort of try to get you all situated and order restored.
It does look like Ichabod's giving a
Yeah.
speech.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's kind of. I did not expect. I just wanted everyone to realize that as long as you have your temporary hit points, you will have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
In
Oh,
my mind, it's almost like that's the speech. He's like reading off a card. It's like you address ally staff or innocent.
Or
Yeah.
score in 5 temporary hit points from now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and if you get hit by something, you'll have advantage on the next attack roll you make. So, a little extra something in addition to the
Nice.
temp hit points.
All right, so then Riza will drop you kind of over this area, and like, are y'all like parachuting out? Are at this point trying to dock? Like, what's your tactic?
I think we were gonna try to climb down a rope. Like, I don't think the plan was ever for her to park. So,
got it.
I think she'll just kind of hover, and we'll try to disembark as fast as we can.
And I'll cast Pass Without Trace on the group.
So what'll happen is as you're docking, there's like a crew of workers like trying to they're confusedly trying to bring some order to the situation, and then a bunch of guards have come up and just different dock workers who are like gawking at this situation. They just see a random ship. It's not a merchant ship. It's clearly something military. Maybe it's dawning everybody what's going on. But with Pass Without Trace, what I need is a stealth check from each of you. And what this is representing is your ability to basically get lost in the crowd.
Yes, we're so inconspicuous. Two oozes and 2 bugs.
I want to use my chameleon carapace to give me advantage on the stealth check.
Okay.
Guess I should have done that too.
Good call.
Placebo, you already had the plus 10.
36.
No, that was. Oh, sorry. Wow. I can't find you, Zeph.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping you were gonna take some of the uniforms and somehow ooze your bodies into them and wearing elf uniforms and the helmets falling off. But no, what I'll say is all of you, Koraz, you can roll with advantage.
Oh yeah, I can roll again. Yep, let me roll.
I think it's still fine. I was looking for a 16 or higher. But with the plus 10, I think you're good.
There we go.
So what we're gonna say is that basically your Pass Without Trace is obviously people are what's happening here, and you drop down off the ropes, and then the guards get in there and they're immediately gonna interrogate you, but you're in the wind. You're passing through the crowd, and there's using all this sort of shadowy sort of thing that's happening with Pass Without Trace that you're able to slip through the crowd and get into an alleyway.
Doing some Metal Gear Solid, we all got a cardboard box.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my box.
What was that?
Those rats.
Get that beautiful noise when the air.
Hey, it's just a box. You're good.
It's just a box. I'm just someone you have to say in real life, you just find a box. It's just a box. That's all it is.
Seems a little closer than it was before, but that just must be my imagination.
Must be the wind just kind of blowing it.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so you'll make your way into an alleyway behind essentially a warehouse. I mean, this is a dock, right? And all the hubbub around your ship. So the strike's going to take off, and what's going to happen is, as you look above you, you're going to see a squadron of star moths chase after the strike, firing mangonel, ballista, and you don't know. Who knows what happens? But they fly off. Grimzod's aboard. Grimzod maybe greets you on your way down. He's this almost looks like a zombie at this point. His skin is sort of forming again, but he's just shredded by this light, and he's just I have to go lay down. And so he
I
goes.
thought he would
down.
still be on the ship.
or just start floating back to somewhere safe.
No, he fell off on the wing is what I was imagining. He's just trying to go there. But he's there, and so you have the impression, maybe he'll live, but he was screwed up. And the rest of you,
I think he could have benefited from the speech. Then I think it's. He might have some temp hit points. Let me check what my total people. Up to 5 creatures within range. He'd be my 5th creature, so he's got 5 temp hit points and those other same benefits.
Okay. So we'll say that Grimzod has temporary hit points. Remind me if it comes up.
Okay.
He seems inspired. And
I've got to lay down.
Exactly.
In a very happy way.
I want to take a nap. So you're in the docks, and so you're so far undetected, but there's a lot of activity. So at this point, I would say that you would know as a reminder, since it's been a month, that you want to make your way. I think we had talked about making your way to the Temple of Light. That's where she told you that. So the Temple of Light is where the ritual needs to take place.
So we don't really know where she is. That was the problem. I think that was the discussion last time, was where will we find her?
Right.
No, I can I use a sending spell to contact her?
Ooh, can you? I think you can.
With a creature for which you are familiar. We are familiar.
Yep. So
I could tell her to meet us, that we are here, and to meet us there somehow or something, or I guess she can talk back. It says, send us a short message. Creature hears your message. Recognize you as a sender if it knows you and can answer in like manner immediately.
Yeah, ask her if she's at the temple, and if not, can she meet us there?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use the spell slot.
Okay, let me look at that spell just to see.
I'll display it in the VTT.
Beautiful. Creature hears a message in its mind. Okay. You can answer in like manner. So it's like a telepathic thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
25 words or less to creature, so,
And the range is infinite, right?
We're on our way to the temple. Can you meet us there? Heart. Koraz.
Slice of cake emoji.
So you'll send it off, and then maybe like there's a little bit of a delay, and then you hear back something. It's like, you fools! I am at the Temple of Light. It's the coronation. You have to hurry.
Right.
That was the plan anyway. Let's
go.
She called me a fool.
I don't think that is foolish. We were just double checking. It would be more foolish to show up and have her not be there.
That's true.
Yes. She's under a lot of pressure, so we must make haste.
Hurry. Yes.
Addendum to that message too would be like, make sure you bring the ring.
I've got it.
You did grab the ring, right, brother?
Yes. You have the ring of shooting stars. All right, I think we're just gonna try to
hightail it there, right?
Yeah, go as quickly as we can at this point.
How long does the pass without trace is that like a concentration?
I think it's an hour. Yeah, it is concentration. I think it's an hour at least.
Yeah, up to an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, so we can't be more than that away from there.
No, yeah, because you're like it looks like maybe
70 feet. It said.
Right there.
A small planet.
We just skip, merrily, and we're there.
I can go there in 6 seconds.
So what's that? 70 divided by 5, so that's 12, 14 hexes.
Yeah.
Ish. And maybe let's say 12-ish hexes, and so 6 times 5. Yeah, so not even a mile. Yeah, it's like half a mile to charge through.
When I was younger, I could do that in like 7 minutes.
That's right. How long does Pass Without Trace last? An hour?
Hour, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're square. You casually get over there.
Well, not too casual.
Yeah, you're just like just strutting. Those oozes. That ooze is a top hat.
I'm to saunter.
So,
a picture like, oh my god, like that was it the Staying Alive or whatever?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
Strutting.
Yep.
Strutting.
Time to strut.
Yeah, absolutely. So you stay behind the buildings, ducking in and out. There's a lot of activity. And again, it's kind of like, not to beat the analogy too hard, but it's like the stormtroopers on the Death Star. They're moving stuff around. They've got little workers with them and stuff. And you're just seeing all these people moving about. You are not elves, most people in the dock are elves. However, that's not 100% the case. You do see a few species of people that are clearly like merchants or maybe like political connections of some kind. There's a few people who seem to actually be working here that are not even elves, are like selling things. So despite the fact that there's sort of an authoritarian regime, you know, you do feel like maybe at least on the docks that you might be able to kind of move about without as intense scrutiny. But I'll say your pass without trace also aids in that. We don't need to roll stealth checks as long. Well, I guess roll me a stealth check, because I would say that you need at least a 12 to not be like picked up by a guard. So everyone give me one stealth check, and we'll just kind of like homogenize it across. I don't even know if this is, unless you all roll ones, it should be okay.
This is.
Can I roll? Can I roll performance instead? Since
Right.
my philosophy here is, if we act like we belong, and we're like supposed to be here, then we'll blend in better than like being all sneaking around corners.
Go for it.
Sidelong glances.
You don't get the plus 10, but you can get the roll performance instead.
Of course.
That's all right. That still does it. Oh no, it doesn't. It's a 9, right?
That's a 9.
So,
That
Just should have been more sneaky. He was just like, no.
You're like trying to get your suited like little elf ears to come out of your thing. It's not quite.
Do we have a
so,
reroll,
see if
guys?
you're like slipping around all sneaky like, and Ichabod, you're like, you know, in your infinite wisdom, it'd be much better to blend in with all of these like merchants and stuff. And so you're
use
sort of
the
like
box. Use the box.
you're trying to pretend like you're a part of things, and you're like talking to someone, and and then it's a guard, and he's on a bad day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, wait a minute, I've never seen you before. Can I see your permit?"
Permit? Permit? Do you know who you have the honor of addressing, good sir? We were personally invited by His Majesty to the coronation ceremony. If I am late, what is your name? What is your name?
And he says, "My name is Xaryxis."
Ah, yes,
Well,
of
that
course.
X
Starts with an X, I imagine, like so many of your cohorts. Look, I do not have time to mince words with the likes of you. If you want to escort us to the palace, you may join us, but we cannot stop. We are running dreadful. Did you see that dragon? What kind of security do you have on this asteroid? I swear. And I'm just going to walk away and just kind of over my shoulder say, you may join us if you wish, but we have to go.
Give me another persuasion check.
Why is he saying us and we?
I don't know. I'm hiding in the box.
It's the royal we. Why with the 3 again? All right.
Well, hold on. It's showing to me as a 19.
Yeah, well, that's with my,
Oh,
That's
you're
some
doing
fun.
persuasion.
With your magic.
You
Yeah,
said
gotcha.
persuasion. I can do
That's true. It's not performance. It's true. And so, I guess it's deception. What's your deception modifier?
Deception is a +4.
Okay, so it's a plus 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Because as truly as you are actually lying about this. But that said, I think that it's a 14.
I mean, we were invited by the princess to be there. We are running late. I am
All right.
angry with him. I will not stop. There is a deception in what I'm communicating, but if
The
someone were
half-truth.
having a truth spell up, I don't think I said any flat out falsehoods.
Yeah, I know this is abusing the rules of D&D, but I'll say it's half deception, and I'll give you like half the difference. So it'll be over the 15 I was looking for. I know, and I'm just throwing the rule book out. But I'll say that, yeah, I mean, good enough. He's just sort of like, and you can tell that he's suspicious. He's probably gonna go talk to somebody, and so you don't have a lot of time.
I'm so
But
hurried.
he's letting you go.
Moving on.
Get back in the box.
Yeah, get the box.
Okay, I'll get in the box now. That's what I get for trying to add flavor. Okay.
So I'll say for the sake of passage, with all the rolls that were stealth really strong and the performance check really isn't that bad. It just happened to be unfortunate for your timing. you'll make your way through this checkpoint. And well, I guess at that point you probably can't stealth, right?
Like here, you're saying?
Yeah, there's like a checkpoint like right here on the edge of the wing. And you get the impression looking through the gate as like there's two guards, they're like checking people's papers and stuff. And all of this looks to be like living quarters. So you're dealing with this dock this whole time. And what you see in there, let me see real quick exactly what you see. What kind of living quarters is this? You're seeing a bunch of buildings that are sort of lower quality. They're small, functional buildings. And you get the impression that this lower quarter this is like the lower quarter where like the servants live, that kind of thing. But you see it's pretty much elves, like 90% just from what you've seen. Maybe you've seen like one random gnome or something like wandering around, but
So
what you're saying is we're gonna stick out like a sore thumb as soon as we get through that gate.
give me an insight check.
I'm incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
You actually are. You get the impression that maybe this is where like they put the guests that are actually are to meet the king, that are not elves. They get to stay with the servants as a subtle sort of like court intrigue kind of thing. So you think that maybe it would stick out, but also maybe of all the places on the asteroid, this may not be the worst place to stick out. You have a plausible excuse anyways.
We could find some barrels, and my brother and I could become liquid in barrels, and you two could be bringing in beverages or food products.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Sure, there's plenty of barrels on
We'll
the
just
dock.
roll on in.
Just put our masks and hat respectively at the bottom of the
Right. And
A
become
barrel and-
amorphous
yeah.
and just kind of
blobs. I'm game.
And then
Do we
the
see
two of you
somewhere
need
we
to
can
be-
acquire some barrels or receptacles for our friends? Or
Yeah, I mean, you're in a dock area. There's barrels and crates and all over the place. Like if you would like, you maybe try to pilfer a barrel.
yeah, hopefully one that doesn't smell too awful for our friends, you know.
Okay. So let's start with who's doing the pilfering. Who's gonna snag a barrel?
Well, is it obvious like who owns said barrel? Could like maybe it's just easier just to pay someone like a gold piece to grab their barrel.
Yeah. So you could do that if you want. Just pay like I'll put it this way: like as you're walking around, like there's barrels that are by carts. There's barrels in the back of the buildings. There's barrels that are stacked on barrels, and like tied up and stuff. There's all kinds of barrels, and who knows what's in them.
Yeah, Zeph is
we
gonna
definitely see a
find
few
one
merchants.
and like get all obsessed with this like one particular barrel and be like, "This is the one. Hey, brother, look at this barrel. What do you think, Koraz?"
Oh my God, the gilding is just amazing. I've always wanted a barrel with this type of gilding.
Good sir or ma'am.
And one of the elves, actually, no, this would be, this merchant is an ogre.
Oh.
The ogre's like, ma'am.
Oh, yes. You have
She
exquisite
has, like,
barrels.
long She looks at you a little bit, eyes squinting.
I mean the literal barrel. I'd like to buy one or two of them.
Okay, so give me a D100 roll. See what's in your barrel. 87.
What's in the barrel? Uh-oh.
She points to one of the barrels. Well, you can have that one for free.
Oh, good. Wow, you're so. I thought this was going to be a protracted negotiation.
It's all full. I don't need it anyways.
Okay. Huh.
I can only guess.
I can keep what's in it.
I'm picturing Back to the Future right now.
Yeah. So you saunter over to the barrel, and it is a barrel with a hole in the lid that is filled with poop. This is what the table's telling me. I'm sorry.
Wow, what a score, Koraz! Look what's in here.
I am longer as thrilled about this plan as I was before we acquired this barrel.
Oh, you.
What about one of these other ones that we can pay for?
Give me a D100 roll.
All right.
Don't roll 87.
A dirty 87.
I'd rather be in a pee barrel than a poop barrel.
61.
Number 1 is better than number 2.
That's true. She's like, well, I was using it to store my poison bottles. I guess I could move them to the shelf. How much you paying?
Poop and poison barrels. That's just for sale today.
That's what you get at the P&P.
I misread this. They're actually potion bottles, but I'm gonna stick with the poison.
You drink poison, it goes right through ya.
It's like 10 gold.
Wow. A lot more expensive than the poop barrel. Are you sure? Think about it, sure. You can't just.
I have exactly 10 gold, and I, without saying anything, just hand over the 10 gold, just without even saying anything. Just like,
all right,
take it.
It's a deal.
And she takes all these like different barrels full of like these sort of noxious looking liquids, and she puts them on her little like bench she's got set up, and she rolls the barrel to you, and it smells a little like maybe some of these things have spilled in there, and you know it's not pleasant, but more pleasant than 87. So, the dirty 87.
Who wants to risk going in the poison barrel, and who wants to risk going in the number 2 barrel?
I mean, can we fit them both in one, or is that too tight?
Well, we have a medium creature and a small creature. That'd have to be a pretty big barrel, I'm guessing, even if we... Well, it'd have to be a pretty big barrel to fit.
It's like an ogre-sized barrel, though, right?
I'll allow it. I'll say that you can fit in there. If you squished up, you can liquefy. You know, I think it's
It's gonna be like half blue, half pink, just this weird looking swirl.
It's Romulan ale for the party.
All right, let's do it. Better than the poop barrel.
All right.
I'm trying to keep you all from getting pink eye. That's all.
Wow.
We don't have eyes, but appreciate it.
As we're rolling this barrel along, Zeph is gonna be like, man, you know, Koraz, you ever notice Ichabod? He sure can talk, huh? I figure this is the only way we ever put a cork in him.
You hear a slow like golf clap coming from inside the barrel.
Oh, he liked it.
All right, so you roll this barrel up full of this bizarre liquid, this goo. And there's a couple people in line, and then there's, you get your to the front, and there's 2 guards. There are 2 elves. The visor's down. It'll just say, "Papers, please."
Oh, shoot. Papers, huh? Oh, boy. We don't have no papers. This is some libations for the coronation party, so...
He looks at the barrel. Looks like goo.
Goo? It's not goo. Tell him, Koraz.
This is the finest of Romulan's ales from the outside of the universe. Absolutely asked for by the Princess Xaryxis herself. We must bring it to the coronation now, or all of our heads are going to be taken off, mostly yours.
He looks at you, regards you. He looks at the goo. May I taste it?
Of course not.
It's very rare. It's only for the elite. I mean, listen, hang on. I'm very reasonable though, and as you know.
Look.
Business. Look, 5,000 gold pieces. You can taste it.
Now, this is pretty rare stuff. It's brewed in casks that contain poison.
Ooh.
You believe that? I don't know, rich, the elite, I wouldn't drink it myself. But it's a
looks at the
kind of
goo
rare thing.
suspiciously.
I'll make it bubble.
All right, give me a deception check, Koraz.
Oh, okay, good. I'm good at that.
It was gonna be disadvantage, but advantage with all the help.
Advantage. Okay, let me roll it again.
No. The advantage undid the disadvantage. Basically, if you let him taste it, it would have been straight up. But I was also gonna hurt them. So he'll say, he looks at his partner, and his partner's like dealing with some like person who's like haggling with him, like complaining, and like she's got her paperwork, and he's like stamping stuff, and he's like, all right, let it in. You're fine.
Quick, we gotta get there.
Permit.
Okie dokie. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll grab that. Grab that replacement one.
Jeez,
Imagine like your
horse to
four
go through.
arms like rolling the barrel like.
One arm just grabs it while the other arms are rolling.
Thank you. See you later.
You know, if it had been the poop barrel, this really would have been a dung beetle kind of situation.
He's like, oh man.
Oh, that would have been an even better dad joke from Zeph.
So you'll make your way into this essentially this living quarter, and like I said before, this is basically where you pick this up just by looking in Koraz's insight and his observations that this seems to be where the servants live. Like the people you're seeing walk around, they don't look like soldiers. They look like maids and butlers and craftsmen and women, that kind of thing. And you do see the occasional non-humanoid, non-elf wandering around. And they give you suspicious looks. But you've got your barrel of goo. And I think that, I think it's safe to say that in this quarter, you probably could get pretty comfortably to like the edge. Like this area here on the map, if you're looking, without a lot of attention. There's lots of buildings, there's lots of alleyways. But once you get out to this outskirts, it starts to get very curated, right? Like these buildings that are here are not like houses anymore. They're some sort of officials. Maybe it's an official's house or an official building, like a townhouse. There's lots of green space that they've built out on this part of the asteroid. And you'll also notice that there's a crowd forming, that there are people that are wandering kind of in. Oh, you can't see that color. Let me change the color. Well, that's weird. I always go with white because it just helps me see my other maps. But anyways, oh no. Well, whatever. So, this is making me mad. I want to fix this. All right, red. Configure default. Yes. Now you know what I'm doing. Just kidding. But anyways, there's people that are like kind of like milling in and about, and you can see like, just really anywhere there's like a road, people are kind of very orderly moving into this area. It's a crowd of people. I watched this movie recently. You ever seen Conan the Barbarian? If you have seen it, there's a scene where Conan's trying to like infiltrate a cult. This is not the weird paint scene. This is the scene where he's like wearing like a tunic. And he's like love and peace. He's like wandering around, and there's all these just hippies everywhere. It's kind of the same vibe. Like, you get the vibe that's just like all these people kind of like sort of interested in what's going on, but just kind of like almost like true believer types, just like wandering towards this. Maybe they know they'll never get into the temple, but they want to be around the temple when this all happens. Vaguely religious vibe to what's happening here. And there's quite a few of them. Oops. Yeah.
We kind of tap on the barrels and maybe let Placebo and Ichabod know it's okay to probably come out now.
Oh, I'm so dizzy from the spinning. So much spinning.
Now I see this little entrance over here, potentially with these buildings kind of in this area. Would it be reasonable to assume that maybe if we tried to get in like over here, that we might have a little bit more cover to try to do so?
Yes. So what that is, this little area here where there's these walls built up, this is a garden area. So this whole like section, oops, that's the wrong thing. This whole area, why can't I do anything? Oh my god, my brain is just, where's the ruler? Seriously, can't find the ruler anymore. Oh, there it is. So this whole area here is like a garden. So I don't know if you've ever seen it's sort of like this very carefully built up garden with these very high walls. There are entrances, there are guards, but you can kind of tell that everybody seems to be very distracted by this, whatever the heck is going on in the temple, which you know now is the coronation that's going down. You think that maybe you could slip through here without even like there's people moving. There's really not a lot of foot traffic that direction, but it looks like the guards aren't really like, they're like standing out like in the middle of this green space. You know what I mean? Like they're not really, they're like watching people. And like, you ever seen like cops try to like direct traffic when everything's all crazy? Like they're kind of like trying to do that. Like they're not even really watching the gate.
We still have the benefit of pass without trace sounds, so it'll be.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking that maybe that way, and then try to get up and in.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Very lovely garden.
Cool. Hey, and thanks for the follow. I saw that. Oh, who is that? Kajamalin, maybe. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So you'll, I mean, I'm not gonna make you roll, y'all. Y'all have okay. Give me a stealth roll in case someone rolls a 1.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna roll a 1.
Only 30.
I rolled a 2. I didn't roll a 1. I didn't add the 10 this time though, so it would be up to 20.
I was gonna say, and the thing is, like, you can't crit fail the ability checks, right? So even if you rolled a 1, you're actually really good at stealth, so it'd be okay. I was more looking for like Ichabod to roll a 1 to get like a 4 or something, but or 5, I guess.
I had advantage and I got a 5. So
wow, Koraz.
That's an unfortunate advantage roll.
Plus 10, so that's a 15.
Yeah,
that's still okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, because they're not like scrutinizing you, and like you get the impression it's almost like a trance experience happening. So you make your way into the gardens, and one thing you'll notice with the gardens is that this is like a place where they are like these are beautiful forests, and they're built out like it's basically you're walking into a forest, and the air envelope of the forest, it's like it creates this like freshness, like you're in a kind of this artificial air envelope that's created because of how wild space operates. And you walk in here and it's like fresh, beautiful oxygen. There's just life everywhere, teeming. There's birds and insects and all kinds of creatures flying around and just being quite pleasant. You probably well, who's our most insightful character? Or is there an insightful character in this group?
You're talking passive perception?
I'm looking for insight.
Oh, my passive insight is 17.
Yeah, that's
that's pretty high. So Ichabod, you might think that like knowing that they're on this asteroid and knowing that the planet that they're from is a lush green planet, that maybe this is like native life. One of the planets that orbits the sun is their home planet, which is like this beautiful, even from far away, this beautiful lush green planet. So maybe like a kind of like a representation of their home.
I burn it to the ground. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
Why don't you
I
blow
was
up your own
thinking
planet?
that.
Like,
I
how
was
do you
like-
like it?
Doesn't feel good. Does it?
Right?
No.
This is what they are using our planet for, so they can feed their son and have their little world
Not-
here.
Not
It
for
could
much
be a
longer.
distraction. We could, light it on fire and run for it. They won't be
True.
running towards us.
Well, except we are here, so we would have to.
We'd have to go there. Yeah.
I could throw the grenade into the garden as we leave it, and
Let's-
then
Let's save the grenade. I feel like the grenade may be our kind of a Hail Mary at the end here if we need to.
I will throw it in the garden on the way out.
But we can make a promise here and now that we will throw the grenade at some point.
I need to throw the grenade.
I am with our friend Zeph on this. I think we need to put our claws in, and we need to
Mhm.
promise that we are going to blow something up with this grenade at
Yes.
some point.
Yes, that is the purpose of a grenade. Yes.
I think
Although
this
yay.
garden would be if there's no other purpose when we're done. Yes, maybe we blow up the garden. Although the princess may not be pleased with us once we do so, but
She'll owe us one.
People know it's my grenade. It could be anybody's grenade.
That's right.
Ichabod reluctantly adds a pseudopod to the stack of limbs.
If she's been paying attention to this campaign at all,
Get it
she'll
in there.
just blame Crux.
That's right. And he'll be executed for blowing it up.
Guys, Crux probably is dead as we speak. Like,
That's a perfect scapegoat then.
No.
So we'll destroy the forest potentially on the way out. Noted.
Or at least use the
I
grenade.
mean, that's
it
just
must
if
be
we
used.
still have the grenade by then.
Yes.
That's true.
If we
I
don't
mean,
find a better use for it, yes.
yeah, you might inside.
Mm-hmm.
So there's about 100 people gathered around the front of this temple as you're kind of moving through the forest.
And there's only
And-
one way in, one way out that we can see, right? Into the temple.
Yeah. And you can tell that there is right here, right at the front of the temple, there is another one of those sort of like choke points. This one seems to be somewhat police, but it's a bit chaotic. People are trying to slip past and they want to be able to see this happening, like the coronation and all these things. It is chaotic, but there's maybe like a half dozen guards that are at the gate trying to like hold people back. And, they're not being mean. They're not being rough. They're not like pulling weapons out, but they're definitely like, hey, you can't come in. You're only here by invitation. That kind of thing.
I mean, we have our permit.
It's true. Why did I say that?
I grabbed our replacement permit, so I think we're gonna just.
are we going back in the barrel? Is that?
I don't know.
Well, do you have any liquid in the barrel at this point?
I don't think we do. I mean, I don't have. I'm not carrying around enough liquid to do anything.
No, but maybe we should have. They asked for a sample last time. Maybe does anyone have a sample of something that we could put near the
I have-
top? So,
I have a flask of oil.
ooh.
I have
That's so good.
a vial of perfume.
There you go.
Alright.
I think that works.
Maybe it's not a beverage. Maybe it's like an incense.
Why is
Why
that
are you?
advent-
Why are
why is
you
that-
carrying perfume?
It's adventuring gear. I don't know. I guess I got to choose some stuff for adventuring gear, and I chose.
He likes to smell good. Cut him some slack.
Yeah. it's-
Jeez, sis.
I don't carry perfume.
Well, okay. We can can put the vial of perfume. If they need a sample, I'll just have it like kind of the vial like near the top if you need to grab it.
I mean, what do you think? Is that a good plan to try to get in, or do we just sneaky? We still got Pass Without Trace.
I think it's going to perhaps be difficult to convince them that this barrel is suddenly needed at the last minute.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more.
Is not that
And
good.
there's a lot more guards here than there were.
You've got to dip the crown in the goo.
You cannot even persuade me of that.
Trying to see if I have any spells that could help. I mean, we always got friends, but we know that has a very limited shelf life and has bad effects after that.
Could
I mean, I have it too. You can do
up?
it, and then I could nail him with it right after.
Maybe
and then
would
we
be
can
better
run.
off riling up the crowd so the guards have to attend to the crowd.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
we sneak in.
That's a great idea.
Say that
Like
again?
maybe start a fire.
Yes, or a fight. We could go around and bite everybody, and then they'll be like, "Who's fighting?" And then they will fight each other, and we slip right in.
I'm gonna use all my arms to pinch everybody's butts.
That's good. And I will get very low to the ground and bite ankles. I could do that.
Maybe we roll
I think it's a
the
great
empty
idea.
barrels out into the crowd and say free beer, and then they'll get real pissed when they find out there's nothing in the barrels.
Oh, yeah, we could make it. They said free beer. There's no beer in here. Where are they? Let's have their heads.
Free perfume. Whatever, like whatever you want to put in the barrel.
It's one vial.
No,
in
but
there.
we could get everybody upset because we could act upset. Yes.
So I have enemies abound. That would be my last third level, but I would think commoners would have a hard time succeeding. Well, that would just be one person. I could make one person suddenly think they're surrounded by enemies. The guy maybe closest to the guards, and then we
What if it is the guard? What if you make the guard think he's surrounded by enemies and he goes nuts?
That's it. That's it.
I like that.
And
like
he just
that.
goes apeshit, and the other guard has to attend to him, and we all bum rush the show.
There we go. That is a good idea.
All right, I can do it on one. Look, well, can I? I can't be upcast. All right, so I can do the guard when we get within. I mean, I can do it 120 feet away, but I think we'd probably want to be a little closer than that. And what I would want to do to make sure this works is I'll burn another unsettling word. So he'll automatically. Let's see.
Minus D8.
Yeah, minus 1d8, but I have to be within 60 feet. So maybe when we get in 60 feet, I'll do burn a bardic inspiration to do unsettling words, and then I will cast Enemies Abound on one of the guards.
Cool. So I'll just roll a d20 just to see the base and see if we want to like mess around with anything. Yeah, nope, they fail. So
Oh, nice.
All right, I'll drop Enemies Abound in
yeah, if you wouldn't
so
mind.
you can see exactly what it does.
Are you going to give us a speech again? Oh, no.
No, I'm not gonna copy and paste it. I'm just gonna. Oh, that didn't tell us anything. All right, I'll do this.
If you click on the words "enemies abound," it's a drop down.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty sick actually. That's nice. Using the money when your creature you see, you force it to make an intelligence saving throw, which is fine. They lose the ability to distinguish from foe. While the creature can see enemies until it's spelled. Each time the target takes damage, it can do. If an enemy produces, so I'm gonna say that like basically he goes bonkers, and he starts to like at first he starts to like harass the people. He's like, "You're here to assassinate the king," and he like shoves like a peasant or like not a peasant but like one of the servants out, and then one of the guards is like, "Hey, calm down. What do you do?" And he's like, "No, you're also a traitor," and he's like got a sword out and he's like swinging it around. as enemies abound, and he's like trying to like get everyone around him.
He's trying to kill everybody. Run!
Look at him! He's going apeshit!
Think of the children.
It's chaos. And so the guards are like trying to because they're trying to restrain him because they like him, it's his friend, but he's like stabbing people, like it's like brutal. Bad situation.
All right, we better, and I think we just have to force our way through at this point and try to make the best of the diversion.
Use all my hands to hold on to my friends so we don't lose each other.
Got all 4 hands. So I'm not gonna make you do root checks. That was a creative solution. So effectively, with pass without trace, whatever, chaos, you'll make your way into the temple pretty easily. And like, there's like all these guards are like rushing the gates, and like, of course, they're all being defensive about the situation. But you'll be able to make it to the gate in the midst of this chaos with the pass without trace happening. The doors do get shut behind you pretty quickly as a security measure, but you'll make your way in. And as you enter the temple, you can see that there's a priest that is standing in the center. And so first of all, describe this temple. It's a circular building. There are pillars, rimming the edge of the building, and in the center there is this font of light, kind of like almost like a how do I phrase this? Like a wishing well. Like it's just like this pool of light that is being filtered in from the ceiling. There's like a crystal that you can see if you look up in the ceiling that is essentially taking energy from the sun and then pouring in this almost golden liquid like format in this pool. And you see there's this elf priest that is presiding over a dead body, which, given his clothing, how he's dressed, and festoon, this is clearly the dead emperor that had been discussed earlier. His body is floating in this pool of energy. And you see on either side of the priest, Prince Zeleth and Princess Sadali. So you're, the leader, sort of like the guy driving a lot of the problems going on, Princess, who has been requesting you to come, and they're both dressed in beautiful attire, even Princess Sadali, but you can tell that the prince is like standing with pride. He's staring at this crowd of a couple dozen people, these aristocrat types. They're in the building, and you can tell that Zadali, she is standing coldly and with a scowl on her face. And right as you walk in the door and see all this happen, there's a bit of a hush, even though the door's shut, and they have not perceived what's going on with the crazy guard. And the priest raises his arms, and you see the emperor's body elevate into this light that's sort of pouring from the ceiling, and then just like disappear. And he seems to be absorbed into the light. And instead of kind of like going up the reverse channel of the light, like going up the river, so to speak. And the priest exclaims, "The emperor has ascended. He is one now with the light of Xaryxis. As his force-burn heirs, Prince Zeleth and Princess Adali are in line to rule the kingdom. But Princess Adali stands accused of treason. Are there any here who would defend her claim?" And there's a bit of like murmuring in the crowd.
I'm gonna use my cantrip message, assuming I'm at least 120 feet from the princess. Am I at least 120 feet from her at this point?
Yeah, let me think about that. I think so.
I would whisper, should we make ourselves known? We are here. I'll whisper that so she can only she can hear me, and she can reply in a whisper back.
Got it. So, is it a whisper? What spell was it?
Message.
Message. Okay. And so she will, kind of under her breath, say, You fool, stand up to defend me. No one else will declare for me.
We declare for Princess Zidali, the rightful heir of the Empire. And I'll stride forward with a regal air of my own.
So the crowd just like, whew, like this intake of air, and they turn around and they see 2 oozes and 2 Thrycreen with a barrel standing at the... Oh, actually, do you have the barrel still?
I think we should bring it. We might need
Yeah,
it later.
yeah, I think so. Like Zeph and Koraz definitely would have just kept. I'm seeing this barrel's growing on me.
10 gold pieces for this barrel.
That's right. Like Ichabod's whole investment that went into this, the whole campaign money.
That's right. That's the only money you've ever made. Your starting gold. And so they all turn around and they stare and they see this sight, and of course Prince Adali, his steps up. His face is now stern, and you can see, the similar features of I'm sorry, not Prince Zaleth, rather. He steps forward. Similar features of this Dali, like this angular, refined, sort of noble elf look, and the shock of like pale hair. And he stands up and he says, "And who are you? What is your standing to defend my traitorous sister?"
We represent the Doom Space Coalition, a rival and equally sovereign fledgling nation, and we have worked with her to create a better world for all races, including you astral elves and the rest of the species. And he's just gonna like start BSing as best as he can to make it sound as though there's this other, like, there's been like political talks, and she has the support of all, like, he's gonna, like, the Aarakocra, the Thrycreen, the Xaryxis, the all of the various
Hadozi
races.
ship that's still out there somewhere.
There's a handful of Hadozi. Yeah. And
speaking of, that's a good time to do a roll.
Oh no! I should have my mouth
Come
shut.
on! All right, who we got now?
do we know if she
Starman-
is?
That's right.
Starbucks.
Do we know if she's the elder of the siblings?
They were twins.
They were twins.
Just
Yeah.
just
So,
an
and I would
FYI.
also say that she was not a traitor. He tried to kill her, and it was only through through the good graces of the rest of the astral sea and various wild spaces that his assassination plot was thwarted, and basically how he's been trying to manipulate things even before the emperor died, tried to kill his sister, and we're here to like bring him to justice.
And
I have
just
a question.
as an
do we
aside
know
here,
what? Oh, go ahead.
I was just so you know what the score is. We got 2 rerolls that have come in from Galaxian, so
Nice.
Oh, thanks, Galaxian.
in case those become
Gonna
important.
need those. I was gonna say, do we know what needs to be done with the ring, or does the ring need to be given to the?
Yeah,
princess?
as I'm talking, I'm striding forward, trying to get, not making it obvious that I'm like being aggressive, but just, as I talk, walking again very regally, like as though I'm important and I should be there, because I do want to get that ring as close to the princess as I can. That's a good
So
point.
as you're making your plea, she will echo you and she'll say, "It's true. My brother is behind all of this atrocity. He is leading our society to become enemies of everyone." And she's like kind of echoing your logic. And you can see Zaleth is stewing, and he turns to the priest and he starts to he says, "Endavir, we can't let these interlopers intercede." And Davir, he puts his hands up and says, "It is our custom. Challenges should be met. Let us all listen." And so he's sort of like encouraging you to have like your points to be made. And Zaleth will open and he'll just say, as you're striding closer, he's like, you blame us for what we do, but we do is to survive for our people. Our great star has fed our society for generations. And so we only take, just like you take when you consume an animal or a plant for food, we have to take for our star to feed. There is nothing wrong or evil or deceptive what we do. It is how we survive. What say you?
What happens when there are no more worlds to plunder? If you are a parasite, only feeding off of other living creatures who have every right to exist, eventually you will run out of food. Whereas your wise sister realizes that forging mutually beneficial symbiotic relationships will help not only preserve your species, but also many other species of our universe. You are leading your people to doom on a long timeline.
Speaking of which, doom is the right word, because look at us, we represent the Doom Space Coalition. All people who have come together after something bad has happened to their people and live together in peace and forge a new way. So, you know, you don't have to steal from other people to make it happen. You can work together.
Oh, does that mean I get advantage because he's helping me?
You do, yes. Advantaged.
Thank you, sir.
Persuasion check.
Persuade.
Placebo will look at Zeph. When do we start fighting? Do we get to start fighting soon?
I hope
Yeah,
soon.
that's exactly
'cause
I just imagine she's there with like the grenade, just like the pale, just like smiling with her mask, looking
Kind
around.
of, bro.
you kids think I'm gonna step in and say something about future generations and blah blah blah. No, thank you.
All right, so you roll a 19.
Yeah, twice.
So the crowd is sort of like murmuring, and Zelith picks up on it and says, they say that we can live without taking, but what about Xaryxis? What about our star? We know that it will perish without the lifeblood of these other planets, these weaker people.
But are we weaker? How did we get here if we are weaker? How is your very armada being demolished as we speak? You have put your people in jeopardy. There are many worlds that would welcome you. Uninhabited worlds, perhaps, where you could start new lives and new cultures and actually evolve rather than your secluded ways where the rest of the worlds despise you and plot against you. You are in a very precarious position. You think you are thriving, but you are deluded.
And he will, and I should say, I realized I did not activate.
Mic drop.
All right, give me another persuasion check.
All right.
And this is the map, by the way. Just I meant to illustrate this for y'all. Don't worry, don't interpret anything as the battle focused people. A 19 again?
Damn. He's a beast.
So the crowd is kind of like they're torn. It's almost like you're right on the edge of swaying them, but they.
I mean, I could use a reroll, guys, if you want me to. If we think this is a.
You should, because you have a +9 and you've been rolling 19, so
Yeah,
use a reroll
I mean-
so you can get it up a little higher.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
If I
that's not helpful. What the?
All right, I'm
What is
calling
happening?
some shenanigans on Foundry. I mean,
Well, it's only a
what?
1 in 20 to the fourth power. Like
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
that happens all the time. You just roll a d20 and it's the same value 4 times in a row. Yeah, sure.
What is the chance of that actually happening? I'm looking this up. 20 times 20 times 20 times 20. It's 1 out of 160,000.
Yeah, that seems.
That sounds like our party.
Yeah.
It's
Breaking the odds.
0.0000625% chance. All right. Anyways, so the crowd is like, there's a bit of discontent, right? I always like to look at skill checks as kind of like spectrums and not, pass fail. I think it's a little more interesting that way. But you can feel the crowd is like kind of somewhat buying your points. But every time you come up with a point, Zelda is able to like kind of like pull them forward and back in towards of like, he says this because he is an outsider. He doesn't know our ways. And like, there's all these sort of back and forths. And it's borderline. It's going a little bit against you.
I still have 2 points of inspiration from when you awarded me, I think, 5 initially.
Okay.
And I used some when we were
in Doom Space.
parlaying with the different factions. So I mean, if I do have, or I think I had
one
3 and I
more
used
reroll.
1. So okay, so I will. Come on. Watch it be lower now, just to spite me. All right.
Don't
Watch it be
say
19
that.
again.
That
Oh
would
my
be.
God.
If it is like,
Oh,
It tried to
we
Alright.
broke the 19 trend. Yeah, I tried.
almost rolled a 19. So you kind of like, as he's like doing his last counter, maybe you bring up the Doom Space again and you point to like your coalition you've built, right? And that, as a counter to his like cynicism. And the crowd starts to murmur, and Zadali's going to step up and say, "It's clear, my brother, that you are not with the people, with our lords and our ladies. I am meant to rule." And Zaleth is going to say, in anger, you can see like spit comes flying out of his mouth, "I challenge you to a duel. Trial by combat." And the crowd, "Oh. Winner is the chosen successor to father." And everyone kind of like gets shocked by this. "You wanted combat?" He points at you, Zeph.
Oh, I thought we
"Defend
were
her
quieter.
then." Yeah, and Placebo.
I didn't realize he could hear us.
Oh, well.
"Choose your champion," he says to Zadali. And he stomps off.
so he's choosing one champion, and she has to choose one champion, and they will fight. Is that what we're understanding here?
So you can so you can ask this question of the priest, who's like the referee. She's like, "So on one corner you got no." He'll just be like, "Well, there are no rules on the number of champions, other than everyone's fate is bound together.
There's
If
no
you wish to-
rules.
Well, the rules are whoever is standing wins."
So if he goes out and he finds like 500 guys and want to back up his claim, we gotta fight 500 guys.
I guess that's. Listen, we don't have many rules in the books, so
Maybe we can pick a space that doesn't hold 500 people. If we have to fight in a small space, then that would limit the number of participants.
We get to choose the space.
I think we should. If it's not in the rules, I think that should be our choice.
That's
we
a
should
rule
make
now.
that rule.
Yep.
Yes, that is a rule. Yes.
he'll
As
say,
this- I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, he'll just say like, "Well, it's space of the challenge is." He's like flipping through like a document.
Oh, so there are rules. It looks like there are rules.
There's no rules
Mostly
except for these
ceremonial.
rules.
You say, "Listen, just don't make this hard on me. It doesn't happen very often. Yes, you can choose the space. You versus his champion, up to give or take 4 people, give or take a couple, 2 or 3."
Can we give an hour or so to gather our thoughts and, or maybe even on the morrow? Actually, but before he says that, he is like, as they're
But
talking,
first we feast.
yes, as they were talking, he would have sidled up to the princess and kind of like at the end of his pseudopod, she'd be able to see like the ring. And he's kind of like, "You want it now? Is now the time for you to take this?"
She will put her hand in your hand, and she will pull that ring away from you, and she'll slip it under her finger and say, "Yes, when you defeat Zaleth, I will claim the throne rightfully." And then she will interrupt and say, "If I know Zaleth, he will use the Zodar. It is a family, been a member of servant of the family since the dawn of the Empire. It is
The Zodar?
the Zodar, Zodar."
Really,
Oh.
a Z? This time
Yeah,
a
not
Z?
an extra one.
wrote it with an X.
That should be an X. But she'll say, the Zodar is a knowledgeable creature. It is settled many disputes in our family, so I've never seen it defeated.
Any tips?
Like, what kind of special abilities does it have?
Let's see. What would she know?
What condition immunities does it have?
I've never seen it frightened before. It's so brave. She will say, it has many. It is a beast, a being of some kind. Some say left by the gods of old, encased in obsidian armor, and it does not seem to be harmed by certain heats or poisons. It is a powerful melee fighter. If you're able to distance yourself, you may be able to take it down.
Oh, this is my battle. This is truly my battle.
Does the grenade do fire damage or force damage?
It does thunder and fire, I think it said, so.
Just
yeah.
curious. Just chuck it and go.
Boom.
We win.
Yeah.
And Prince Zalis will return after kind of stomping off and consulting with his retinue, and he'll say, "My champion I've declared is the Zodar. I am still firstborn technically, so I have access to it."
Oh,
It
we
will
were
defend
hoping
me.
you would choose the Zodar, and I just kind of put my little tendrils together in a steamy, satisfied way just to mess with his head.
Yeah, we knew you were going to do that. Starting your reign off pretty predictable, don't you think?
He huffs a bit, and as this is all happening, the Zodar will make its entrance.
Oh Lord, bless this thy grenade.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah.
With it
Holy
now,
grenade. Yep.
Oh boy.
So the Zodar
Cute.
floats in from the light and just sort of lands in the font and just sort of moves towards Zalith very peacefully and just kind of hovers there next to him.
I think the princess wants to win legitimately, so I was waiting for the ready, set, go. That I don't.
Just hurl the grenade immediately. But the priest will say, there was a request for a period of preparation. I will give you 1 hour to prepare, and then we shall duel. And he'll address the crowd. As is our custom, the Zodar has decided many of our disputes. If he should fail, then that means our challengers, Zadali, are in the right. Should he succeed, then Zalith is correct. Such as tradition always guided us. Return in 1 hour to be witnesses. And he just kind of dismisses the little aristocrats. And he will lead you to just basically a little private chamber where you can rest, prepare, get your weapons in order, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, motivational speech will wear off, although I could cast it anew.
That's too bad.
I would have to use my last significant spell. Well, I'd have to use my other 4th level spell set, so we can decide that. But definitely, if you guys are, well, I imagine Placebo will be using some hit dice during the short rest.
Oh yes, yes. I will.
You benefit from Song of Rest. If you or any friendly creature who can hear your performance regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending one or more hit dice, each of those creature gains an extra 1d6 hit points. So you get an extra 1d6 from my song. It's an old Macopian folk song. You know,
this one is my favorite. Well, actually, it's not that great.
it's about the only
must go down.
It's about the only ooze paladin that of Carol that existed and was a very honorable warrior. Yeah.
Hey David, how many temp hit points did we get from you earlier? I didn't write
it was
down.
5.
It was 5. Okay.
And if you guys want, I can before the battle use my 4th level spell slot to do the motivate if you think it's going to be worth it, but I'd almost rather
level, maybe hang on to the spell slot, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Well, if we're all full, and you actually though had something that could give, like, if people wanted to munch those treats, the anchovies prior to battle, you could.
I think that's for temporary hit points. The anchovies.
I don't remember. I didn't get one.
We're getting raided.
Oh, hey.
Ooh.
Thanks for the raid there, Distal's Place. We're doing a little Spelljammer tonight, and the party is on kind of the cusp of either victory or defeat. They have to face a quite strange interstellar being named the Zodar to see who is going to be the rightful heir to the Xaryxis Empire. But thanks for coming by and for exploding my face with emojis.
Wow. Lots of emojis.
Oh, I get all my bardic inspirations back, I think.
Nice.
That's huge.
So obviously what I'm proposing to you is a short rest. So I know that doesn't do a lot for some of the spellcasters, but
it's good for the monk.
it's good for the monk. It's a little
monk
bit of
has her hit points.
Yeah, it's good. You get your hit points back, you get your stuff back.
Yeah.
And some stuff that comes back. It's good. Bardic inspirations. And I will say that if you, I guess you want to do any planning for this? You're fighting the Zodar. The Zodar is going to fight on its own. You gather that from the situation that it doesn't need help. So you're not going to have 500 guys show up to fight. Although it's clever. What if this party was like 30 people? There's got to be some.
Is Grimzad? No, Grimzad is not with us. We told him to stay back on the ship, right? Because he was not doing any of the checks or anything.
He had to take a nap.
Yeah.
He had to take a nap and
find a coffin.
Yeah, and if he takes a short rest, I think he can make the ship invisible again. So there might be some chance for I don't know what they're going to be up to. Depends on if they get away. Now this is a short rest, so I am going to advance the damage. I'm going to roll 6 coalition fleet fights. Let's see if this works. Okay, another moth ship goes down.
You just want to kill Crux.
No,
I know that's what you're.
this
is.
Oh, another
Okay.
Thrycreen.
Another Thrycreen. Although I think I might have done the math wrong earlier, but that's okay.
I mean, if Zeph is any indication, they procreate pretty, effusively.
Prolifically,
We get busy.
So I mean,
That's 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Mercenary ship. And so these fleets are beating themselves up, one more, and just smashing into each other. And there's Star Mats going down. There's Coalition fleet going down.
I mean, we told them to break off and save themselves after a certain point. So
Sure, and that is fair. But I will say that it is also hard to escape in
if they're
in the space.
giving chase, then yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So there's a bit of a fight, and they also understand you're still on there. So I think there's probably an element that Crux is probably not allowing them to just totally abandon you. So they'll be doing some imagine I guess the rate at which it's happening probably is consistent with trying to keep them engaged without full on smashing, But anyways, thank you all for the raid there coming into the comments. Yeah, nice. playing Emberwind. That's fun. So
during our prep time, I will caution my friends that the grenade is very powerful, but I feel it would have quite a range. So if we are in a small room, like a 60-foot range might be a dangerous closeness to the grenade.
oh,
Yes, it is a big explosion.
It's a big boom.
It is a very big boom.
yeah, I've actually got to figure out where this should happen, because it doesn't make sense to happen in the temple, like unless you're like fighting around the edge.
We
You know
need
what they'll
to
do?
boom the temple, though.
Yeah, what's that?
We need to blow it up with the grenade, of course.
Yeah, so I just tuck the grenade into the font.
Yeah.
So what they're gonna do, because it's ceremonial, is they're going to box off this where the font is. They're gonna kind of like shunt it off so that it's like a surface to fight on, basically. So we'll say that's what's happening here.
Like a puffy vinyl lid to like an outdoor hot tub. It's like, all right, we're gonna
Yeah.
cover it up.
Yeah, it's really, you're like a little bit suspicious you might fall in.
They're putting the hockey ice over the NBA court.
That's
yeah,
right.
it's like comes
The
over.
Zambonis are coming in.
So, anything else to prepare before you face off with the Zodar?
Man, no, the only thing would be my motivational speech, but I'm gonna save that 4th level spell slot. We may need it.
Cool. So, I warned you this may happen, but I think this is a good break point, because at the resolution of this, we will have some forward momentum on the rest of the campaign. Probably we'll see the ending one way or the other. There's several options. Potentially what you do, but you're facing the Zodar, and the nature of this is Zealoth has challenged Zidali, so you were able to sort of like turn the crowd in your favor. You would interpret that if you win this fight, you're in good position to put Zidali on top. Like, it's not going to be like an insurrection. Like, you kind of got the crowd understanding, like, hey, Zidali has the right way of doing things. So, with that in mind, I think we're going to wrap it up a little early tonight. So, thank you all for the raid. I apologize for kind of dropping it off in the middle of this, or I guess kind of, before the session's like normally over. We usually go another like 30-45 minutes, but next session is probably the last Spelljammer session we're going to have, but we will see. So a couple quick wrap-up things before we finish off. If you are new to the channel, I recommend coming and hanging out in our Discord. We are a pretty friendly place. We talk about tabletop RPGs and PC games and all kinds of things, but more importantly, our Discord is there as a sort of recruitment mechanic for our community campaign. So the way that works is we actually recruit people from the channel to come on to the stream to play in this sort of like massive group campaign. I think it's something like 40 people in it, and it doesn't sound like it would work, but it does somehow. It's actually really cool. It's a lot of fun, and basically you just have a character, you participate in sessions, you level up as you play on them, but it's the same like 40 people or so. So sometimes you're working with a certain people you've seen before, sometimes it's new people. It has like a nice like texture, and you kind of get like, you learn about what other characters are doing and other sessions, and they impact you. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's very like fairly low level, very old school, but it's a lot of fun. Anyways, if you're curious for that kind of thing, jump in the Discord. We have a whole section in there about that. We also recruit people for other games. Like I recruited some people for the charity game we got coming up in a couple months, just out of the Discord, some people that we've seen around. It's just a good way to approach things. So we have a lot of fun with that. That said, you can also follow the channel, and watch. If you like watching games, you like seeing people playing some D&D and 5th edition, that kind of stuff. The big thing that I would say is, like, I like to shout out the game is coming up in the next couple days. We got 2 days of Dragonlance. So if you really like Dragonlance, you like that sort of old school vibe, the kind of like high fantasy vibe, next 2 days, that's what's going to be going on. One of them is going to be with miniatures and shit. It's like super cool. And the other one is also cool, but it's virtual tabletop style. So you get like the nice maps and all that. And it's just a different style, of course. But lots of fun. And I can't say enough about that. Alex is in the one that's virtual. So is my wife. So is David, maybe? David's in that one? Yeah. So it's a good group. But that said, that is all we have for the evening. So thank you all for coming by, and hanging out with us while we goofed around on a planet with barrels of poo. And thank you,
Wow.
random Reddit table. And that is all. So enjoy. Bye-bye.
It was a barrel of laughs.
It's a barrel of laughs.
All right, we'll throw a raid out to the Lollygaggers. See what they're up
Cool.
to tonight.
Nice. Pixelated. Bye-bye. Pixelated.